station of Fox Sports.
Well, we welcome you to our Memorial Weekend coverage of the Mets and the Brewers. It's Game 2 on a glorious Saturday night from Miller Park here in Milwaukee. You couldn't ask for better weather. You couldn't ask for a better hero than Cory Hart. Last night hit the 2-run home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. 7 home runs, 13 RBIs his last 13 games. But it was a classic pitchers matchup. Johan Santana trying to extend that shutout streak to 4 for the Mets, but it was Giovanni Garrido getting the shutout. He was even better in a classic pitcher's duel, as the Brewers have now won 4 of their last 5 ball games, the last 2 in walk-off fashion. They'll try to get one more tonight and a series win already against the Mets if they do it. Alongside Jerry Augustine, I'm Craig Kashon. Welcome as our coverage continues here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Now, we saw a classic pitchers matchup last night, Jerry, but we're starting to see a string of offense as they put the pressure on opposing pitchers late in the game here over the last week.
Well, it's been really great the last week is their patience. They're showing it late in the ball game. On Thursday, we had Ricky Weeks, the patience at the plate to draw the walk, get the winning run. Last night, Cory Hart's been swinging the bat real good lately. Got that ball in middle plate, drove it out of the ballpark for a great win for the Brewers.
So the Brewers will try to continue their heroic ways. Manny Parra is out on the hill tonight for Milwaukee, but a familiar face and an old place. Chris Capuano looking new as ever. Brian and Bill tell us why. Mets and Brewers Game 2 continues here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T Rethink Possible. And by the new Miller Lite Vortex bottle. Taste greatness. Just a beautiful night for baseball once again in Brewtown. It's the Brewers and the Mets, Game 2 of this series, and it is Negro Leagues tribute night here at Miller Park. What a great night. These uniforms are outstanding, aren't they? The 1923 Milwaukee Bears, the only year they were in existence in the Negro Leagues. As we honor one of the great leagues and an important league to Major League Baseball. Hi, everybody. Hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day weekend. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us as we get set for Game 2. This homestand will wrap up tomorrow. But, Rock, after the walk-off win last night, some big news for the Brewers. Chris Capuano will return to Milwaukee.
What a great story. Back in 05, Capuano was an 18-game winner. 06, he was an all-star. And then the arm problems started. Back-to-back Tommy John surgeries. Capuano is back after really throwing well down in the minor leagues. Claudio Vargas designated for assignment to make room for him. Vargas really just wasn't able to get anything together. But Cappy, so far down in the minor leagues, back to the form that he had back in 05. Great changeup. He's been locating his fastball. Had a 1.8 earned run average down in the minor league.
Well, we'll see where Capuano fits in the starting rotation. Tonight, it is Manny Parra. It's his first start in a while after a couple of relief appearances at Minneapolis.
Yeah, throwing the baseball pretty well. He did make a start 11 days ago at Cincinnati. 4 innings, gave up only 1 run. Needs to keep that pitch count down. Talking to Ken Maka today, he's expecting about 80 to 90 pitches today. The good thing for Manny Parra, though, and the Brewers, the bullpen very, very fresh after the start by Yovani Gallardo last night.
Well, he's got a little mojo with the Milwaukee Bears. Unis on tonight. It's the Brewers and the Mets. Can the Brewers keep the magic alive? The Brewers as the Bears, the Mets as the New York Cubans. Stay with us. First pitch coming up. That was the scene last night. What a ball game as Cory Hart leads the Brewers onto the field here tonight. A showdown last night between Gallardo and Santana, and Gallardo was the victor. A complete game shutout for Yovani and a 2-0 win to open this series. Now Manny Parra is ready to go, and Parra will try to continue the trend of good starting pitching here lately. In his first pitch, in there for a strike. Jose Reyes leading off for New York. Comes in batting .249, switch hitting Mets shortstop. And the home plate umpire tonight is Jeff Kellogg. He is the crew chief. Mark Carlson, Angel Campos, and Jeff Nelson on the bases. Now, Manny Parra comes in here at 1-3 for the year, a .354 earned run average, and he is pitching for his spot in the starting rotation for Ken Maka.
Makes it very interesting with the addition of Chris Capuano into the pitching staff.
Issues a leadoff walk to Jose Reyes.
And Manny Parra back-to-back appearances on the 22nd and 23rd. Got a loss and a win. And getting a start here today.
Let's give you that Mets starting lineup brought to you by Subway. Reyes, Castillo, and Jason Bay at the top of the order. Ike Davis hits cleanup. David Wright, then Angel Pagan. And then it's Rod Barajas, Jeff Francoeur, and Fernando Nieve. And it'll be a spot start for Nieve as well. So a couple of guys tonight who have been pitching mostly out of the bullpen this year in Parra and Nieve. Game 2 of this 3-game series, a series that wraps up tomorrow. There's Johan Santana. 8 shutout innings last night. Took a no decision. A little surprising that Jerry Manuel took him out for the 9th. And of course the Brewers had their heroics in the 9th inning with Ryan Braun and Cory Hart.
Yeah, Santana had a 3-up, 3-down bottom of the 8th inning. And the top of the 8th inning, actually Santana doubled in his at-bat. So yeah, I mean, pitch count pretty manageable at that point for Santana. But Jerry Manuel electing to go to the bullpen, and it cost him the game.
Now the Mets starting pitching has been outstanding. They're on a terrific run where they shut out the Phillies in 3 consecutive games. And then of course Santana went 8 shutout last night. 2 balls, no strikes on Castillo. And Manny Parra finds the strike zone.
And the numbers for Manny get off to a tremendous start out of the bullpen. He gave up some runs, but lately he's been doing a much better job of attacking the strike zone.
Parra made just 1 start. That was against Cincinnati. And he pitched pretty well. He went 4 innings in that game. And actually threw 84 pitches that day. They were only expecting maybe 70 to 75 from Parra, but he was so effective that they allowed him to stay. Did not factor in the decision. He is, however, coming off a win his last time out. That was a victory he picked up in Minnesota. The final game of that series, when he went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits and no runs to the Twins.
Yeah, backed up Estrada. Estrada made a start, went 3 innings, did not qualify for the win because he didn't go 5. And Manny Parra given the win after 2 solid innings.
Reyes takes off. He'll steal it without a throw. He got a huge jump. That's a big part of the Mets game, their running game, and Reyes sets the pace for them. That's his 12th stolen base of the year. He's only been caught once.
Yeah, only San Diego Padres have stolen more bases as a team than the Mets. Power numbers down for New York, but they do run a lot, particularly the top of the order.
The Mets have 5 players with 7 or more steals this year. Castillo bangs one out to Weeks. Good fundamental baseball as he advances Jose Reyes to third. Let's give it the Brewers defense behind Manny Parra. It's brought to you by Blaze. You've got Braun, Gomez, and Hart in the outfield. McGee, Escobar, Weeks, and Fielder around the horn, and George Kataris catching Manny Parra here tonight. And there was the man of the hour last night, Giovanni Gallardo. Boy, what an outing he had. Maybe his best start as a Brewer. Statistically, it certainly was. His first complete game shutout of his career. But as far as pure stuff, it was right there as well
Well, he and George Kottaras on the same page all night. I mean, they pounded the fastball. They were very careful when they used the curveball. All of Yvonne's 7 strikeouts came on a fastball last night. And talking to George before the ball game, he said that Yvonne shook off 1 pitch. That was the pitch that ended up striking out Angel Pagan. But they really had a good rhythm going last night.
Big swing and a miss by Jason Bay. Now Giovanni went 121 pitches last night, the most he's thrown all year. A 9-inning complete game shutout for Gallardo. Surrendered just 8 hits. And did to Santana what Santana did to Gallardo last year. Two balls, 2 strikes on Jason Bay.
Might have been the best pitch game for 2 different pitchers that I've ever seen here at Miller Park.
It was something here last night. Bay hammers one. Deep left center. Gomez on the run. Can't get it. And then one hops out of here. Gomez unable to flag it down. Reyes scores the run on the ground rule double. And it's 1-0 Mets here in the first.
Now off-speed pitch from Manny Parra that he left up in the strike zone, but a pretty good piece of hitting by Jason Bay. Able to wait back and certainly strong enough to one-hop it over the center field fence. Looked like a changeup that was out over the plate. It wasn't a bad pitch, but Bay apparently waiting for it and hit it pretty well into center field.
So the Mets score first here tonight. Jason Bay drives in his 23rd. He's been a nice pickup for New York. Signed a free agent contract with the Mets. Played in Boston last year. Runner at second with 1 away for Ike Davis. This will be a big matchup tonight for Manny Parra. Yes, it is lefty against lefty, but Davis has destroyed left-handed pitching this year.
And it's the only left-handed bat in the lineup for the Mets. They've got 3 switch hitters in the lineup, and Davis the only true left-hander.
Ike Davis has hit .387 against lefties this season. Has 12 hits and 39 at-bats. How do you like the New York Cubans uniforms?
I'm a big fan of those throwbacks. They actually look like they're wool.
They look wool, but they're not.
If they were, those guys would be hot out there. The old wool uniforms.
Had a great tribute before the ball game here today, and it's always fun to see the big leaguers pay homage to those that came before them, and the Negro Leagues serving such a great role in big league baseball. Ricky Weeks, his grandfather played in the Negro Leagues, very close to his heart. The 2-1, and Davis chases one. It's 2-2.
Man, we saw that a lot last night from Mike Davis, chasing high fastballs, which is somewhat rare for a left-handed batter. They like the ball down in the strike zone.
The rookie Davis found his way into that cleanup spot for the New York Mets. Pretty good spot between Jason Bay and David Wright. The 2-2, and Davis stays alive. There's David Wright. He'll be next.
Not often a kid gets called up from AAA, once the season started, and finds himself in the number 4 spot in the lineup, the cleanup hitter. Very similar to what the Brewers did with Ryan Braun.
Now Braun spent a couple of days batting second, and after that he was in that 3-hole pretty much to stay. Down he goes. Davis overmatched by Manny Parra there, and it's his first strikeout. Big strikeout to get. Out number 2.
Looked like a slider that didn't do much. It stayed up and in on Davis, who continues to have a tough time laying off that high pitch. That was a breaking ball that was supposed to be away, ended up off the plate inside.
So bad it was good. The spinner. Davis can't believe it. suffering the hitter's fate. That's the thing about baseball. You know, the best have to deal with that 7 times out of 10, right?
Yeah. Make the most of it. Laugh yourself back to that dugout. You swing at a pitch like that. Have to have a short memory.
And you have to be able to blame something or someone else quickly. Whether it's the pitcher, the bat, your batting gloves, the batter's box.
We're good at that.
Oh, sure.
You and I?
Oh, made a career of it. Deflect responsibility. Here's David Wright with 2 outs. Mets are on the board here with a Jason Bay double. Bay's out at second after driving in Reyes, who walked to lead off. Now expecting a good crowd tonight, and a sea of people still on their way in as they cross the Hank Aaron Bridge. This is ideal tailgating weather. You could understand if they wanted to delay the end of the pregame tailgate.
You got to make sure the coals are all out. You want to put the small barbecues under the car, which is what we saw in New York a few years ago.
Never a good idea.
Needless to say, there were fire engines in the parking lot. Novice tailgaters in New York.
3 balls and a strike, and Wright, he chases one. So on a 3-1 pitch, Manny Parra gave him a little wrinkle.
Yep.
And it's 3-2.
Yeah, probably the change up. He also throws that split finger fastball. Sometimes it's difficult to determine which one is which.
David Wright was hitless yesterday. 0 for 3 with a walk. He's got a runner at second. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that one is into center field. Long run for Gomez, and he's got it for the out. The Mets score a run. Here come the Brewers against Fernando Nieve. George Guitarist hitting second behind Ricky Weeks tonight. Ryan Braun in the 3-hole. Fielder bats fourth. Against right-handers this season has 4 of his 7 home runs. He's followed by McGee, last night's star Cory Hart, and then it's Gomez, Escobar, and Parra rounding it out. And there is Fernando Nieve. 1-2 is the record. And an earned run average over 5, and he, like Parra, a spot start here tonight for the Mets.
Yeah, 27 appearances all out of the bullpen. He got off to a pretty good start, but he's had a very rough month of May. 13 games. He's given up 8 runs, including 3 homers and a 7.20 ERA.
Another pitcher for the Mets from Venezuela. Last night it was Johan Santana. Tonight, Fernando Nieve. And he faces Ricky Weeks. Last night, Weeks took the collar. He was 0 for 4 against Santana. There were a lot of 0 fors last night against Santana.
Yeah, join the crowd.
Weeks comes in batting .242. He's belted 6 homers, 25 driven in. Well, now Ricky Weeks is a guy who looks right at home in his throwback uniform.
Yeah, Ricky looks like a natural. Casey McGee looks pretty good in that Bears uniform too.
2 balls and a strike, and Weeks a little half swing. Well, Nieve, like Parra, has started before in his career, but this is the first start of the season. His last time out was against the Phillies. He went 1 inning. That was back on the 26th of May. That was last Wednesday. So he's been preparing for this start. The Brewers saw Nieve last year here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, they got to him pretty good. Their last appearance for Nieve, 14 pitches, scoreless inning.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Weeks. And he pops it foul. Long at bat here for Ricky Weeks. Interesting lineup today, Rock. You've got Weeks leading off. That's normal. But then George Kataris gets his first shot in the 2-hole today.
Well, it's a on-base percentage situation for Ken Maka. He likes the fact that Kataris not afraid to draw a walk. That on-base percentage high, that's what you want. You want your on-base percentage hitters in front of Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder.
And Kataris on base percentage at .420 with the 21 walks. Weeks down on strikes as Nieve picks up the first out. How about a scouting report? We go to hitting coach Dale Swaim on Fernando Nieve.
Got a pretty good arm. He'll be at like 92 to 95. Those strikes, even though he walks some people per 9 innings, but those strikes, got a little slider, uses his changeup a little more to left-handers. You know, you got to get him up out over the plate, and you know, you got to get on his fastball. He likes his fastball a lot. So, you know, he's just a typical, you know, guy out of the bullpen. You know, will he be any different out of the starting role? Who knows? Some guys end up being different pitchers, using all 4 pitches out of the starting role.
And that'll be something we'll pay attention to tonight. Does he have an expanded repertoire as a starter? Will his velocity be down a little bit? You know, pitchers liken it to a starting pitcher is more like a marathon runner, whereas a reliever, you're more as a sprinter.
You have 93 to 95. Dale was talking about with the fastball, but you know, as you mentioned, you're not sure how long he's going to go. I think that the Mets are talking about 80 pitches from Nieve and then turn it over to the bullpen. So you would figure that he's not going to throw as many fastballs at that velocity. But if he does, I think the key to getting to Nieve, you know, he's going to want to get first pitch strikes. So I think the Brewers should attack early, and I think you're going to see him do it.
3 balls and a strike on Kataris. And he swings away and pops it up. David Wright wants it. 2 outs. Well, we're talking about the Mets starting pitching. It has been terrific. And just take you back through the last 7 starts. Now, this is without John Maine or John Neese. But a 5-0 record and a .039 earned run average. That's almost made up numbers. 46 2/3. No runs allowed in the last 4 starts. That covers that 3-game sweep of the Phillies. And of course, Santana went 8 shutout last night. Cory Hart's 2-run home run in the 9th inning, the game ender, came against the Mets bullpen and the right-hander Ryota Igarashi.
Yeah, but before last night, the Brewers, or I should say the Mets pitching staff overall, 3 consecutive shutouts, all against the Philadelphia Phillies, and it was a 9th inning home run that ended that stretch. Jerry Manuel's been getting pretty good work on the mound.
Ryan Braun with 2 outs. Braun and Fielder back in their normal spots in the batting order. Yesterday, Fielder hit third with Santana on the mound, and Braun hit cleanup. It's only the second occasion that Ken Maka has put that lineup together. But Braun is back in the 3-hole today with Fielder on deck. I thought it paid off last night. It didn't come to fruition because Cory Hart hit the home run to win the game, but on that particular pitch that he hit out, Braun was on the move, and he would have easily had second base stolen. Obviously, if Cory doesn't hit it out, you put a runner in scoring position, but with Braun behind Fielder, it gives Ryan a little more chance to run, more opportunities.
Yeah, well, you have to be careful to, stealing bases in front of Prince Fielder. You don't want to be thrown out. Prince hits a home run after a stolen base attempt. Yeah, it's one run, not two. So you have to be careful stealing bases.
Well, a big fastball there from Nieve, 95 miles an hour. So plenty of velocity from the right-hander to start this game. And Braun laces one into left center. That's going to go to the wall. And it bounces off the corner. That was well played by Pagan. That's going to hold Braun to a double. A ringing double from Ryan Braun with 2 away.
Oh, what a frozen rope by Braun. A fastball. That pitch straight as a string. Not a lot of movement on the fastball by Nieve. Not much sink or tail or a cut, but that pitch just above the knees, and Ryan Braun scalds it into left center field for a 2-out double. Can't hit a baseball any harder than this. Straight fastball out over the plate, straight as a string, and Brawny crushes it. A line drive into left center.
You saw the way Pagan played the angle out there in left center field. A lot of visiting outfielders struggle with that corner. And there's been a number of occasions where that ball would bounce off at an awkward angle and end up as a triple. But Pagan saw it right away.
Yeah, look how deep Pagan's playing with 2 outs, nobody on, with Ryan Braun at the plate. I guess he had a better look at that angle right in front of him.
So it gives Prince a chance here in the first inning. 1-0 Mets. They scored in the first on a Jason Bay RBI double. And now Fielder hoping to get hot as the weather rises and warms a little bit.
There's that changeup by Nieve. 84 miles an hour. To go with a fastball that's been averaging about 93. Prince Fielder sees every pitcher's changeup, whether it's a good one or not. They're going to throw it to him.
Well, a base open at first and a 3-1 count. We'll see how aggressive Nieve will be with Fielder. Casey McGee is on deck. And he walked him. So Fielder shows a good eye and a good at-bat to turn it over to his teammate, Casey McGee.
Now Nieve with his 18th walk in 23 2/3 innings, including tonight. That's a lot of walks to go along with 18 strikeouts. So I guess you have to be patient with Nieve out there. But again, you got to be careful being too patient, because that fastball is one that he likes to throw early in the count and get a lot of the plate.
Now the National League's RBI leader at the plate, Casey McGee. And those RBIs have come in bunches. Basically in this type of inning. Braun a base hit, Fielder draws the walk, and McGee has base runners out there to work with. McGee is also inside the top 10 in the National League in hitting. He's batting .313 to start the day. Currently 7th in the league. Christian Guzman leads the league with a .325 average. And then it's Ryan Braun at .321. McGee's down there 7th in the National League.
And a dead fastball situation coming right here for Casey. 2-0.
And McGee pops it up. Ike Davis will give it a chase, and that's in the seats. Gives you an idea of the velocity of Fernando Nieve, even in a hitter's count with a good fastball hitter.
Yeah. Well, he'll pick his spots. I mean, you saw the pitch that he threw to Ryan Braun on a 2-2 count. He threw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and on 2-0, with men on base, you figure he's going to reach back and get a little extra.
On the corner, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes on McGee. Now Casey in this kind of spot with 2 outs, where the runner's in scoring position, hitting at .435 this year. 16 RBIs on 10 hits. Just missed. Full count. Now the runners will get a head start. Braun and Fielder will be on the move, and McGee fouls one away. Had a good cut.
There's been all fastballs by Nieve. Every single one 93 to 94 miles an hour. This one right down the middle, but a little bit up in the zone, about belt high. Casey had a pretty good hack at it.
Well, a lot of pitches here for Nieve. This will be number 30 for the Mets starter. Runners go. 3-2 pitch fouled away. McGee spoils another one. Now, whether the Brewers score or not, this is exactly what Ken Maka wanted his offense to do to Nieve. Take that pitch count to a high level and get into the Mets bullpen quickly.
Yeah, 8th pitch to Casey McGee here in this at bat.
Another 3-2. The runners go, and McGee flares another one foul. Well, what a battle here between Casey McGee and Fernando Nieve.
There's a breaking ball that time, the first one.
Walked him. Terrific at bat by McGee. Back-to-back walks issued by Nieve. All of this starting with 2 outs. Braun doubled, then back-to-back walks.
9-pitch at bat for Casey McGee with a couple of men on and 2 outs. He got ahead in the count 2-0. He missed a pretty good pitch to hit on a 2-0 count. He worked the count to full. A couple of fastballs that he was able to foul back. Finally a slider from Nieve. There it is right there, able to fight it off. And then on pitch number 9 draws the walk. Good at bat.
And that brings a visit from Dan Worthen, the Mets pitching coach. And that will set the stage for Cory Hart. He was the star last night. His Powerball home run number 10 last night, and it was a game winner. First time Hart has ever had a game-winning home run. And the Brewers have won their last 2 games in their final at-bat. And a standing ovation here by this Miller Park crowd for Cory Hart.
He's had a nice couple of weeks, has Cory.
Hart is up at a big spot here in the first. Mets got a run in the top of their inning. Braun doubled into left center. Fielder and McGee both drawing walks. Oh, had a big cut. Powerball home run leaderboard has Hart at the top of the list. How about that? Cory with 10 home runs Casey McGee with 9, Braun 8. Fielders belted 7 this year, and Ricky Weeks with 6.
And 7 of those 10 home runs for Cory Hart have come in the last 13 games. Red hot.
Ball and a strike. And Hart sends one high and deep. This one is way back there and gone! A grand slam for Cory Hart. It has been 2 days of first for Cory Hart. His first walk-off home run last night, his first career grand slam here today. Wow. 4-1 Milwaukee. Pack him on ice.
Wow. Amazing. And what that guy has done in the last 2 weeks, 8 home runs in his last 14 games. A grand slam here tonight. Wow. How about this inning for the Brewers? 2 outs, nobody on. And they end up with 4 runs.
And Cory Hart joins Craig Counsell and Casey McGee with grand slams this year. As Gomez takes a swipe. Take another look.
There's a breaking ball, a slider that hung right in the middle of the plate, and look at Cory. Stayed back nicely on it. He knew it. As soon as he hit it, he knew it was out. And so did everybody else. Goodness gracious. Stay hot. Well, back-to-back at-bats, home runs for Cory Hart, and 6 RBIs.
Not a bad week's work. In 2 at-bats. As Gomez draws the walk, and the end has to be near for Fernando Nieve. Boy, he has thrown 40 pitches.
He got the first 2 batters out. Ricky Weeks on a strikeout, George Kottaras on a pop out, and it's been a nightmare since. 2 extra base hits and 3 walks.
And a grand slam by Hart. 11 homers, 29 RBIs for Cory. The most pitches Nieve has thrown this season, 39. He has 41 here today. Well, you give a lot of credit to Casey McGee. That was a key walk, a 9-pitch battle between McGee and Nieve. Casey drew the walk, set the stage for Cory Hart. Activity in that Mets bullpen in the first inning. 5 consecutive base runners as Oliver Perez begins to get loose. Boy, it has been a quick strike for the Brew Crew. As Rock mentioned, the first 2 were out. Weeks struck out. Kottaras popped up on a 3-1 pitch. Nothing but success since. Ball and a strike on Escobar, and they keep an eye on Gomez. Now these 2 should be fun to watch, hitting back-to-back in the order, Gomez and Escobar.
Well, you figure Gomez is going to try and steal a base. You don't figure Escobar for an extra base hit. Barajas has not fared very well throwing out base runners this year. That's a big lead.
Certainly gives the manager some options in front of the pitcher at the plate with Gomez and Escobar. Hit and run opportunities, stolen base.
Well, you figure Gomez steals the base, they're probably going to just walk Alcides Escobar. If not, you get a guy in scoring position. Jerry Manuel knew it was going to be a big night for the bullpen, but I don't think he thought That would be this early.
Might be a batter away as Gomez spins out at first base. He blew a tire over there.
Yes, he did. He dropped the transmission. He was ready. A little bit slick over there, Carlos.
Hitters count for Escobar. And that one is in there. Strike 2. And you got to wonder how long Jerry Manuel will stick with Nieve. Oliver Pera is normally a starting pitcher, warming up in the bullpen. Pitch count is at 45 in this first inning for Nieve. There goes Gomez and a swing and a miss. Escobar strikes out. Nieve is through the first, but not before Cory Hart comes up big again.
Complicated uniforms from the 1923 Milwaukee Bears back then, and this is special for Ricky Weeks because his grandfather played in the Negro Leagues, and as you can see, a couple of years ago, Ricky took some kids from Metro Milwaukee to Kansas City to the Negro League Museum, and he said it was really educational to see what his grandfather was trying to enforce in him, and he said he feels very honored to not only wear these throwback uniforms tonight, but to put on a big league uniform every night. So guys, this is very special for Ricky Weeks tonight.
For sure. There's a man who loves the game and loves the history of the game and a baseball playing family. And Ricky with his brother Jamal, both first round draft picks. Jamal was out of the University of Miami, and he is currently with the Oakland Athletics organization in the minor leagues. Interesting to see Ricky Weeks a couple of years ago pre-dreadlock. Had the clean shave look. And Bill Hall was also on that trip.
Yeah.
Not sure if you caught it last night. Bill Hall, in a blowout game between the Red Sox and the Royals, actually pitched. Ricky Weeks on cue and not in time. Good play, but Pagan has terrific speed and an infield hit.
Hey, when you're traveling this season, you can take the Brewers with you. With MLB.TV Premium, you can enjoy HD quality, home and away coverage, multi-game view, and the ability to pause and rewind live games. Visit Brewers.com to order and to get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. Yeah, Bill Hall pitched a scoreless inning against Kansas City.
A 1-2-3 inning, the only 3-up, 3-down inning of the night, and he looked good.
Yes, he did.
I mean, he was throwing.
He's got a great arm.
In the upper 80s. You know, he's a guy who hasn't been on the mound very often. His mechanics were fluid. You feel like you could actually do that.
He'll break down his delivery.
Speaks to his athleticism.
Yeah.
I was kind of breaking down his delivery.
You were,
actually.
weren't you? That was good.
We were watching it here in the booth. Rod Barajas for the Mets. Now Barajas has been the Mets' big home run hitter this year. He has 10 on a team that doesn't hit a lot of homers. Has 3 multi-home run games this year. And making Mets fans remember the days of Hundley and Piazza, big home run hitting catchers. Well, important for Manny Parra to have a shutdown inning. Gave up a run in the first. The Brewers get 4 runs with 1 swing of the bat from Cory Hart after a 2-out rally loaded the bases. And now Parra trying to put the Mets away and get this ball game moving a little bit. Now we'll see how much the Mets will run at this point. It's early, and it's 4-1. What do you think the score at this point does to the running game?
No, that's their game. That's what they do. That's how they score runs. They put pressure on the defense. They don't hit a lot of home runs, so I guess that's like saying to a home run hitting ball club, you stop hitting home runs. I mean, they have to do what they do. It's going to be important for Manny, though. I mean, knowing that they are a running ball club, you got to pay attention to them. Just because it's a 3-run lead, that's not a lot of runs. And keep your eye on the base runners and give George Kottaras a chance to throw somebody out.
Pagan at first has 8 steals. Parra looking for the ground ball to turn a double play. That was a big part of last night's game for Gallardo. Well, that one's lifted in the air. Ryan Braun's got a long way to go toward the line, and he runs it down. So Braun makes a catch, 1 out in the inning, and Pagan retreats to first. 3 double plays for Gallardo yesterday. And speaking of Gallardo, our Carsoup.com email the booth question from Justin in Kenosha. What adjustments did you see Gallardo make last night to be able to throw a complete game, Ron?
Well, adjustments, I guess, talking about pitch selection, kept the pitch count down. He really used his fastball very effectively. In talking to Kottaras before today's game, he said he had good finish and stayed in his lanes very well with his fastball. 7 strikeouts, all coming with the fastball. And I think perhaps Giovanni might have learned something in that start. You know, maybe figuring I don't need to use my curveball as enough. I don't, you know, I'm able to get ahead in the count because my fastball is so good. We'll see what happens. But as far as adjustments, that was the biggest adjustment last night. Use of the fastball and being aggressive with it. 7 strikeouts last night for Gallardo. The last 4 strikeouts were all called strike 3s, and they were all on the fastball, including that dramatic strikeout in the 9th inning of Angel Pagan. His 7th and final strikeout that sent the Brewers to the bottom of the 9th in a scoreless game. Big cut and a miss by Jeff Francoeur. Yeah, you got to give George Kottaras a lot of credit what he did with Gallardo yesterday. I mean, it was Gallardo's game. Everybody knows that, but you can't really minimize the responsibility of Kottaras and what he was able to do. Only shook off once, did Yo. That was the last pitch of the game for him. I mean, they wanted to make sure that what they wanted to do, but George and Giovanni, you know, kept a good rhythm last night.
Pagan takes off, and he'll steal second base. Second stolen base for the Mets. And the base stealers both posting bags in this one. Jose Reyes and now Pagan.
A tough pitch to try and throw somebody out on the split-fingered fastball.
Two and two the count on the free swinging Jeff Francoeur. And he lines one into left. Ryan Braun cannot make the play. Pagan will be held around third. And the Mets have runners at the corners with the pitcher coming up.
Man, it looked like a slider that stayed up in the strike zone, and Frank Cory able to center on it, hit it hard into the left field. Pagan not sure that ball is going to be caught. That's why he didn't score. So the Brewers still with an opportunity to get out of this mess with a ground ball. There it is. You see that late movement going in on Frank Cory. Centers on it, hits it hard. And let's see what Nieve is going to do up there. Not sure how many at-bats he's got this year, but you would figure he's up there to bunt to stay out of that double play.
So first and third for New York with one out. And here is Nieve giving up the 4 runs in the bottom of the first. Squares early.
First at bat of the year for Nieve.
So Nieve has been taking batting practice in preparation for this start. A little different in game mode, however. Gets the bunt down. Back to Parra. He goes to second for 1. And Weeks will hold the throw. And how about Pagan standing at third base?
Well, Manny Parra looked him back. The bunt was hit rather hard. You look the runner back, or at least Kataris was giving the signs to Manny Parra, telling him what to do. Pagan stayed still, and they almost thought about a double play. Check it out. Hit too hard. You can see Pagan not sure what to do. By that time, too late to score.
Pagan's kind of stuck in no man's land there. As Nieve reaches on the fielder's choice, no sacrifice. Now 2 outs. Still runners at the corners, and here's Jose Reyes. You almost always see the runner at third base break to home plate in a double play type situation. But Pagan, because the bunt was so firm at Manny Parra. There's a strike to Reyes.
Now, if you're a man at third base in that situation, you're really not expecting to take off. What you're expecting is the bunt to be dropped down. Whoever fields it looks you back and then get the out at first base. But I guess if Pagan had it to do over again, once Manny threw to second base, he might have thought about heading to home. But to take off right away, he would have been an easy out at home plate.
There's another strike to Reyes, and it's 1-2. Well, it was the 3rd inning of yesterday's game where the Mets came up empty after loading the bases with nobody out. At first and third with 1 out here. Parra a chance to get out of it. And a good block back there by Kataris.
Well, Manny's been keeping the split-fingered fastball down in the strike zone, but he's got to get it more over the plate. That pitch off the outside corner, hitters aren't going to swing at it if it's not over the plate.
Reyes walked, stole a base, scored a run in the first. Didn't miss by much. Count goes full, 3-2.
That's a tough pitch to take right there. That was one of the pitches that was called a strike last night. Got a couple of hitters for the Mets in that pitch. That Yvonne Gallardo low fastball. Just a little bit low.
Full count. The runner at first will take off. Nieve. And Reyes lines one into left, a base hit. A run will score. Nieve stops at second. Jose Reyes drives in a run. And it's 4-2 Milwaukee.
Yep, another off speed pitch. Not sure it was the changeup or the split. But that one stayed up in the zone. And Reyes with the extra pitch. Very close to being called out on strikes. And a changeup up, out over the plate. And he rips it into left field. Changeup's got to be down in the strike zone. If it's upstairs, it gives the hitter a pretty good look at it. You could double clutch and still hit it hard.
2 on now with 2 out for Castillo. Castillo's been bothered by a bone bruise in his left foot. He's been out of the lineup for a couple of days. Back in there tonight. Last night it was Alex Cora who started at second base. So Castillo making his first start of this series. Castillo batting with 2 outs and 2 on in the second inning. Gets sawed off. Fielder is right there, and the inning is over. A couple of runs are in for the Mets. It's 4-2 Brewers as we head to the bottom of the second. Tonight at Miller Park on our Negro League Tribute Day. 4-2 Brewers. Cory Hart with a grand slam home run in the first inning. And here we go to the bottom of the second. Manny Parra will lead off against Fernando Nieve, who threw 46 pitches in the first inning alone. The most pitches he has thrown all season in one outing. Keep in mind he's been a reliever all season until tonight. Parra leads off. He's 1 for 3 this year at the plate, and a career 191 hitter. Now for Jerry Manuel this year, Fernando Nieve was not just a reliever, but an oft-used reliever. At one point this season, at the end of the first month of the schedule, he led the National League in appearances.
He's got 27, now 28 appearances, and he gets Manny Parra on strikes. Last time he pitched 2 innings back on May 3rd against Cincinnati. So it's been a while for Nieve to pitch more than 1 inning.
Nieve, as a matter of fact, became the first pitcher in Mets history to appear in 19 of the team's first 30 games. So they decided to put him into the starting rotation while he was leading the league in appearances. So a decision for Jerry Manuel. As Ricky Weeks goes down the line, foul. Almost.
Not by much. Wow. Yep, 28th appearance for Nieve. He's making a start today, and we'll probably see him tomorrow sometime. Yep, just a little bit foul. Just foul by an inch. Good call down there by Jeff Nelson, who was a big hit amongst the pitchers last night. Had a nice strike zone. A lot of strikes.
2 good pitchers to work with as well. You know, umpires, when they work the plate, they look forward to a matchup like that.
Hey, guys throwing strikes all the time. They're around the plate. Umpires are used to calling strikes, and they might give them a little bit up and down, maybe in and out from time to time. Guys all over the place are not going to help them out.
And 2 on Weeks. Nieve is still a good fastball. managers, pitching coaches, general managers, they're always concerned when a pitch count in a particular inning gets into the 25, 30, 35 pitch range. You can imagine what was going through Jerry Manuel's mind when Nieve was up at 46 in the first inning. That's a danger zone as he punches out Weeks. That's the 4th strikeout for Fernando Nieve.
Yeah, good life on that fastball. Down on the knees and right on the outside corner. He couldn't walk it across home plate any better than that. That's a good pitch. It was high enough and it had the corner.
Weeks asking if that was down.
That side angle is a great angle to see whether it was too low, too high. Just above the knees.
That was one of the comments from some of the Brewer hitters about Gallardo last night. You know, you expect that fastball of his to be down, but it's got something extra to it. It's got a little late life that ends up in the strike zone.
Good finish. A little bit of a hop as it gets to home plate.
And Gallardo spotted his fastball as well as he has all year and got a number of strike called on that low fastball.
Best pitch in baseball.
Good old-fashioned hardball.
The fastball.
Yeah, that's right.
Well-located fastball, nothing like it.
2 balls and a strike on Kataris, and he hammers one deep right center field. And Kataris has gone downtown. Number 4 for George Kataris. And a no-doubter. The Brewers lead it 5-2 here in the 2nd inning.
Play 2 outs and nobody on. Not a good situation for Fernando Nieve. Maybe you let a leadoff base runner get on. That might change it. 2 outs, nobody on again, and a big fly by George, who gave it a ride out by the tundra territory in right center. Right down the middle again. That fastball, no movement whatsoever. Straight as a string. And watch it fly. George gives it a ride.
That is a great looking swing from Kataris. Classic left-handed home run stroke. 4th homer, 12th RBI for Kataris. And a 5-2 Milwaukee lead. Here's Braun now.
Well, I had to count in his favor again. You know, a little bit of a leg kick. The key to it is the foot goes down before he starts his swing. Anytime you see a hitter start that swing and bring that bat forward to hit the foot up, that's never good. That's always the key to a hitter like that. He talked to Dale Swain. That's the first thing he talks about with Kataris and Prince Fielder.
And right back to the game plan. On the other side of the baseball is Kataris with pitching coach Rick Peterson.
Yeah, Rick Peterson. Yeah, that's all well and good, George. But here's what we want to do next inning. Get your stuff on. Let's talk about the next inning. We got Jason Bay coming up.
Glad we got that over with.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it was a great hit. Big deal. That's not what Rick says.
You know what? I bet it's pretty close.
Just kidding. It is close.
If anybody's going to have a one-track mind, it's a pitching coach.
Right.
2-2 on Braun. And down he goes. Nieve strikes him out. But George Kataris comes up with his 4th home run of the year, batting out of the 2-hole for the first time. And he delivers for his manager in the 2nd inning. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. Back at Miller Park in Milwaukee on a beautiful Saturday night. And we pick it up. One pitch and a base hit from Jason Bay as Manny Parra continues to give up hits here. The Mets already with 5 hits. Bay drove in the first run with a double in the first. Now the Brewers playing home run derby here tonight in the first 2 innings. Cory Hart a grand slam in the first with George Kataris adding to it with a solo home run last inning. And all of the runs and both of the home runs coming with 2 outs. Mike Davis with Bay at first. I guess you could say it's a hitterish kind of night so far.
Yeah, so far. You hope that Manny able to settle down a bit. You're talking about 80 pitches, 80 to 90 pitches Ken Mock was talking about. Manny right now at 53.
And we're only in the 3rd inning. Davis pops it up. Escobar is back. He wants it. That's the first out of the inning. Well, Manny coming off a win his last time out. He pitched out of the bullpen against the Twins. The final game of that series, Parra pitched those 2 innings. It was interesting that the day before, Manny took the loss with an inning and 2/3 against Minnesota, and that 12-inning loss to the Twins. A dramatic comeback by the Brewers last Saturday.
Well, Manny Parra was given the win by the official scorer because Estrada went 3 innings. He gave up 2 runs. That was the only 2 runs that the Twins would score. Parra for 2, Braddock for 2. Trevor Hoffman pitched a scoreless 8th, and Axford with the save. So it was the scorer's discretion who was deserving of the win. And Manny Parra able to get that win. On Saturday, he picked up a loss and a sacrifice fly to beat the Brewers. That was that extra inning game in Minneapolis. And backing up, Marco Estrada pitched 2 scoreless to get the win.
And had to feel good for Parra coming back after taking the loss on Saturday and the 2 shutout innings. He looked impressive on Sunday leading up to this start here tonight. He made a start against the Reds, but other than that, it's been exclusively out of the bullpen for Manny Parra this year. 2-0 is the count on David Wright. Well, the big question right now, who will leave the starting rotation to make room for Chris Capuano, who will be in the starting rotation. They haven't settled on a start date yet for Capuano. If you're tracking along, Manny Parra's next start would come Thursday. So that's a possibility. Now, Capuano pitched last night, so he is not going to be available to Ken Mock out of the bullpen, and that's not something that they would do anyway with Capuano, according to the manager.
And Capuano pitched 4 innings. He was cruising along. He was talking about it on the pregame show today, saying that all of a sudden they took me out. I knew something was up. It was a big date for the Brewers, and Capuano. The Brewers had to make a decision what they were going to do with him, or they risked losing him to another team. That was in his contract that he signed in the offseason.
Yeah, Capuano had an out clause. They actually moved it back a week. There was an original date in there, and both parties decided that, all right, let's give it one more start just to make sure. And that start happened last night for the Nashville Sounds. And what a story it is for Capuano to return to the big leagues after 2 Tommy John elbow replacement surgeries and ligament replacement surgeries.
In 2005, Capuano was an 18-game winner with the Brewers. 06, an all-star. And then the arm problem started. And here he is. He's back. Outstanding story.
Full count to David Wright. And he cuts through. That's a foul ball. He banged it off the catcher, Kataris. Count stays at 3-2. Wright is hitless in this series. He's 0 for 4 with a walk. Flew out to center field his last time up to end the first inning. One man out here in the third. And Wright fouls it away.
And Manny's got decent velocity tonight, 93, 94, but hasn't been able to get that swing and a miss. It's all about location of the fastball, getting a little bit too much of the plate early on here tonight.
Could use a ground ball, double play. The 3-2, and Wright takes ball 4. So more base runners. First and second now with 1 out.
7 base runners for the Mets in the first 2 1/3 innings.
Quick trip to the mound by George Gataris. The speedy Angel Pagan will hit for New York. Well, it's got to be frustrating for a manager. Offense putting up big numbers early. 5 runs in the first 2 innings, and Parra scuffling here. And now some bullpen activity with Marco Estrada. Two on with 1 out. We have yet to have a scoreless half inning.
That's more like it right there. 94 on the outside corner. That's what he needs to do more of. Throwing a lot of pitches, getting behind in the count. Got to get that split-fingered fastball down in the zone and try and get a ground ball here.
Pagan has great speed. To double him up, he has to hit one sharply at an infielder. He reached on an infield hit his last time up. Little bouncer to second. Weeks actually made a good play on him, but Pagan beat it down the line.
This hasn't been able to get that put-away pitch with 2 strikes.
And of course, without a put-away pitch, the more pitches the batter sees, the more opportunity to figure out your opponent.
More comfortable they become up there at the plate.
1 and 2, and Pagan lines one into the gap. That is going to be down for a hit. Both runners held up. Looked for a moment like Hart was going to be able to run under it. It's going to be a single for Pagan, a 2-strike hit. And the bases are loaded for New York with Rod Barajas, their best home run hitter, coming up.
Now, once again, too much of the play with a fastball, and Pagan able to take it to the opposite field. Tried to come inside, watch where it ends up, outer half, and Pagan able to get the big part of the bat on it and line it into right field. Not sure if Cory was going to be able to catch it. That's why Jason Bay wasn't able to score. That's happened twice now. Runners from second base on, it looked like to be an RBI single, not able to score.
So Rick Peterson is out for a word, the former Mets pitching coach. By the way, tonight Willie Randolph is not with the ball club. He is with his father, who is ill. He tried to get out of town last night. Couldn't make his flight, so he stayed for the game, but he is not with the team here tonight. The Mets connections in that Brewers dugout, and Willie Randolph and Rick Peterson. All right, well, big spot here for Parra. 69 pitches, bases loaded, off the end of the bat. Here comes Escobar, and his only play is first base. The second out, but a run scores. Jason Bay scores the 3rd Mets run It's an RBI for Barajas. But Parra now with 2 outs in this 3rd inning.
That's a good pitch by Manny that time. Oh, speed pitch. You figure Barajas looking fastball, and he cued it right off the end of the bat. That ball goes right to Manny Parra. That would have been an easy double play. Good pitch selection that time. It's not so much been pitch selection between Kataris and Manny. It's been location of the pitches.
Almost threw it away. They will walk Francoeur to get to the pitcher spot. And it's unlikely that Nieve will hit.
You got Fernando Tatis, Henry Blanco, the other catcher. You figure you're not going to see Henry. Even Gary Matthews Jr., a switch hitter, on the bench, along with 2 left-handed hitters. There is activity, and it's been constant down in that Mets bullpen, so you figure Jerry Manuel's going to be using somebody here.
Well, Howard Johnson is the hitting coach, and a quick scouting report for Gary Matthews Jr. as he steps out and will hit in this 3rd inning. So the starter for the Mets, Fernando Nieve, is out after just 2 innings on the mound. And this one is going to be decided by the bullpen tonight, even with Manny Parra still in the game. His time is running short as well.
Well, Gary Matthews Jr. is switch hitter, so Jerry Manuel sending him up there in the event that Ken Mock was thinking about bringing on Marco Estrada, the right-hander. Kind of makes his decision a little bit more difficult. Do you stay with Manny, who's been struggling out there, or do you bring the right-hander in and allow Matthews to hit left-handed? The Mets have 4 switch hitters on their roster. That's a lot. The Brewers have none. Now that Greg Zaun's on the disabled list.
So Parra will face Gary Matthews Jr. with the bases loaded here in the 3rd inning. Wasn't too long ago Matthews was an all-star with the Texas Rangers. That was back in '06. Signed a big contract with the Angels and didn't do much with the Angels. And now in his first year with the Mets. Nieves' final line: 2 innings, 3 hits, 5 runs, all earned. And at this point, on the hook for the loss. 2 outs in the 3rd with the bases loaded. 1-1.
And another split finger fastball. Back-to-back splitters to Matthews. Pretty much straight away in the infield and straight away in the outfield for Matthews.
Matthews traded to the Mets this offseason. And a strike on the corner. 1-2 for Manny Parra.
Well, he's got him set up for another split. Let's see if he goes to it. Got to get it down in the zone. George has to block it.
One ball, 2 strikes. And Matthews cuts through. Parra strikes him out. Some early drama here for Manny Parra. He strands the bases loaded. 1 run scores, but he picks up a key strikeout in the 3rd inning. 5
the third inning. And just a reminder, come out to Miller Park tomorrow as the Brewers take to the field against the Mets again. First 25,000 fans in attendance get a luggage tag, compliments of Frontier Airlines. Call 414-902-4000 for tickets.
Roof is open on a beautiful night in Milwaukee, and an odd game going so far. A lot of offense. It is 5-3. Pitchers are having a tough time in this one. And already the Mets are in their bullpen. And it's Oliver Perez, who had been in the starting rotation to begin the year. He made 7 starts for the New York Mets, now appearing for the third time out of the pen.
Yeah, when he made that first appearance out of the bullpen this year, it's been way back since 2002 since Perez worked in relief. He's been a starting pitcher throughout his major league career.
Prince Fielder bangs one back up the middle, a base hit. So Prince greets him rudely, and a single to center gets the Brewers started in this third.
Yeah, this is a guy with exceptional stuff. He doesn't throw as hard as he used to. He's been around a while, but with that arm angle and the breaking pitches that he features, slider, changeups, and a pretty live fastball. You can see he missed his spot. It was supposed to be on the outside corner, ended up right down the middle, and Prince able to hang in there and fight it off into center field.
Oh, it has been a long and winding road for Oliver Perez. Had a great season as McGee pops it up, backing up Pagan. And he's got it for the out. One away as McGee jumping on Perez quickly. So here comes Cory Hart. What's he done lately? How about 8 home runs in his last 14? 17 runs batted in. That includes a grand slam he hit in the first inning. And of course his game-winning home run last night.
Well, this game's all about confidence and being out there on an everyday basis. What comes first? You get the at-bats, you find the confidence and the success, or vice versa. But he's certainly been taken advantage of in the last couple of weeks. And it all comes down to pitch selection for Cory Hart. He's been much more patient at the plate.
Well, he's another guy that Dale Swaim, the hitting coach, has tightened up a little bit. You mentioned the lead foot. That's one of Swaim's marking points as he hammers another one. This is way back in left field, and there she goes! Oh my goodness! Cory Hart is red hot. A 2-run home run. His second homer in as many at-bats. And going back to yesterday, that's 3 consecutive at-bats with home runs. 7-3 Brewers.
Are you kidding me? How about that? A slider from Nieve head out of the ballpark for the grand slam, and fastball in. Another home run for Cory. 3 home runs in consecutive at-bats and 8 RBIs. That good week continues to get better.
My goodness. Something else. 6 ribbies here tonight on 2 homers. And perhaps his first curtain call. Gomez into left center. Pagan runs it down for the second out of the inning. Wow.
Check out the quick hands by Cory Hart. This fastball in on him. Check it out. Supposed to be on the corner. Left it out over the plate just enough, but amazingly quick bat. Hips, then hands, then barrel the bat, and see you later. Number 11 for Cory Hart.
Began the year as a platoon player with Jim Edmonds. I think those days are over for now.
You think?
Cory Hart now has 31 runs batted in for the season.
One thing you don't want to do, don't talk about it. Just have a good time. Don't talk about what you're doing, right?
Talk about anything else.
Anything else. So if Telly goes down there and interviews him tonight, don't ask him what he's been doing so well. Let him go. You start thinking about it, that's when it goes away.
Yeah, you ask him about his kids and how things are going.
Yeah. What kind of car are you driving now?
How about the beard? What kind of music on your iPod these days, Corey?
Hitters are funny that way. I remember, the one hitter that I remember with this team that would not ever talk about his hitting. When he was going well with Jeff Jenkins, you want to sit him down and talk when he was in a hot streak. He said, I don't want to talk about my hitting. Then go home. Go away. We don't want to talk to you. What else are we going to talk about? That's just bad luck to start talking about it.
Now, unless you're Ryan Braun, and then he'll talk about it anytime. He's ready to talk. Braun's probably talking about his hitting with Corey right now.
Yeah.
Something else. Cory Hart. And Escobar sends one foul. Got pretty good wood on that one. 3 at-bats, 3 home runs for Corey.
Well, 7 runs for the Brewers, all coming on homers. Every run in this series has been the result of a home run for Milwaukee.
Escobar with 2 outs. Hoping to get Manny Parra to the plate in this 3rd inning. The pitcher is due up next. Well, with Oliver Perez and Manny Parra, 2 left-handers that scouts compare. Very similar. Still haven't had a scoreless inning. Interesting that these 2 would be on the mound together here tonight. As Perez walks Escobar, walking the 8th place hitter to get to Manny Parra here in the 3rd.
Yeah, Perez has been very inconsistent throughout his career. He could go out there and just be dominant. And then there's been other times where he seemed to be cruising along for 3 innings, then just flat losing. It's got to be a concentration situation for Perez.
He was a 15-game winner back in 07. Got a 3.56 earned run average that year for the Mets as Parra sends one foul. After his 15-10 season, Perez led the National League in games started. The next year in 08, and he won 10 games. Signed a big contract with the Mets, a 3-year deal. But there have been some rough waters for this left-hander since. When you talk to scouts, there are 3 left-handers that all come together in the same breath. Oliver Perez, Manny Parra, and Jonathan Sanchez of the San Francisco Giants. Sanchez has taken that next step. While Perez and Parra not quite yet. And Parra swings. The inning is over, but Cory Hart continues to destroy Met pitching. His 3rd home run and his many at-bats. His 2nd of the game. 6 RBI.
in the top of the 4th inning as we continue our Negro Leagues tribute night. And I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Joe B. Scott, who played in several Negro Leagues, 20 professional years. And Mr. Scott, how does it feel to be able to come here and get honored tonight by the Brewers?
I'm just so thrilled because last year the Brewers drafted me and took their outfit because I didn't play in the major league.
Yeah, in 2008, that's exactly what the Brewers did in honor of some of the Negro League players that weren't able to get drafted. They drafted them in the first amateur draft, and not only that, but to get a chance to throw out the first pitch and still get a chance to be around baseball has to be a really good feeling for you.
It's a dream and a thrill for me to do that, to come to Miller Park. And I love to come back one more time, just one more time.
Well, we'll have to make sure that happens. And it was a great pregame ceremony for the Negro Leagues here at Miller Park, and they continue to honor them by wearing 1923 replica jerseys here tonight for the Milwaukee Bears. Mr. Scott, I want to appreciate you for your time and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
All right, B.A. and Rock, let's send it back to you.
All right, Sally, great. Good to see Mr. Scott, Joe Scott, and he threw out the first pitch here tonight. And that is a great story, isn't it? How the Brewers drafted some of these terrific Negro League players who were not drafted or were not allowed to participate in Major League Baseball. Officially a Major Leaguer when that draft happened as Jose Reyes singles to center field.
And Mr. Scott, a first baseman and outfielder back in the Negro Leagues from 1936 to 1956, so 20 years. Good for him.
And it is our Negro Leagues tribute day today. The Mets wearing the uniforms of the New York Cubans. And the Brewers in the Milwaukee Bears uniforms. The only year the Bears were in the Negro Leagues, 1923. Marco Estrada is on the pitch for Manny Parra. So Parra goes 3 innings, and this is a flip-flop of what happened in Minneapolis last Sunday when Estrada started and Parra came in relief.
Yeah, pitched an inning against the Astros on Thursday. A couple of days ago, gave up a run, a couple of walks. Best pitch, a changeup. His changeup sets up the fastball. Ordinarily, it's the other way around. And needs to locate the fastball and throw that changeup to get the outs.
Well, it has been a trifecta of minor league pitchers that have made an impact here for the Brewers the last couple of weeks. Marco Estrada, John Axford, and Zach Braddock all coming up and giving Ken Maka some significant contributions on the mound.
Yeah, big innings in big situations, that's for sure.
Now, unlike Parra, Estrada has been a starting pitcher most of the year down in AAA. We'll see Zach Braddock, and there's John Axford. Looks like Axford has the Raleigh Fingers version of the mustache tonight, sitting there with LaTroy Hawkins. And Estrada walks Castillo. He's got him curled up. Well, Chris Capuano soon to be pitching in Milwaukee. He is with the big league club now. Marco Estrada, Zach Braddock, and John Axford all pitching well since their promotion from AAA Nashville.
Yeah, it looks like John Axford is going to be the closer, at least, you know, not announced closer, but he's certainly been in some big situations. Zach Braddock, a setup guy, go along with Villanueva and Coffey. But I'm very much looking forward to watching Chris Capuano in his first outing. After a long battle getting back to the big leagues, 2 Tommy John surgeries, and not a better guy that you'll find in all of baseball. A harder worker. And talking about a good changeup, Cappy's got a good one. He's always had a good changeup.
There's Capuano.
They say he's been locating his fastball very well.
Well, how satisfied must he be right now, even though he hasn't thrown a pitch in the big leagues yet, just to make it back here. And all the work and all those lonely hours of rehabilitation from that surgery. Got an extended visit here between Rick Peterson and Marco Estrada. And Jeff Kellogg has joined the group. Not sure what's going on here with the Brewers pitcher.
Rick Peterson needs a Milwaukee Bears jacket. He's got the old throwback jacket. Kind of matches the color somewhat. I guess that's as close as he can get.
So 2 on to start the inning. 7-3 Brewers. Cory Hart has 2 home runs in this game. And 6 runs batted in. Had a grand slam in the first. And a 2-run homer last inning. Now tied for the National League lead in home runs, believe it or not.
That's an amazing thing, is it not? Like Cory Hart. A dreadful spring for Cory. Question was, how much was he going to play? Wasn't in the opening day lineup at Miller Park. And look at him now.
Not even on an all-star ballot for the Brewers. Snap play at second. Reyes just back.
Wow. Good throw and a good tag by Ricky. Jerry Manuel saying, don't make it that close. We're down by 4 runs.
Jason Bay at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hart's 2 home runs tonight. Joins him with Mark Reynolds, Dan Uggla, and Kelly Johnson.
But Cory Hart's done it in 144 at bats. A little different.
Feels like he's done it in the last week. Little bouncer. Estrada will go to third and get the lead out. Good play by Marco Estrada, even with the speedy Reyes coming off second.
Yeah, got a late break because of the check swing. Didn't get the full swing. Couldn't read it really off the bat, but Estrada able to bounce out there and get the lead runner. You know, keeping that double play in order and eliminating at least 1 man in scoring position. That's why, right there is why Reyes didn't get a very good jump and an easy out at third base. Well, you knew it wasn't going to be a double play, so they get the lead out.
Well, now it's Ike Davis. 1 out, first and second for the Mets. And Davis takes a ball. Tell you what, Marco Estrada is really fighting with his right sleeve. That might have been what the extended visit was. Might take some scissors to that sleeve here in a moment. He's been clutching at it, grabbing at it, trying to get it back over his elbow.
A little confining, perhaps. Maybe the elbow catching on that seam there and limiting his range of motion.
It's a nuisance right now. Here's the 2-0. He fouls it back. Davis, 2-1 count.
It's either got to be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter.
Whatever it is, it's not quite right. Can he overcome? We shall see. Little cue shot, a changeup from Estrada. 2-2.
Good balance on the back leg and doesn't seem to be giving him much of a problem with that pitch. Got to break down the sleeve situation.
We take you inside the game. Well, maybe he's just fidgety, you know? Who knows? Remember Pedro Estacio?
I do.
He used to, remember before he pitched, he'd lean down and he'd shake his hand out. And you'd have sworn he had an arm problem. Guy shakes his hand out like that. His elbow must be hurting. He did it every time.
And barking. That's why he hit so many batters, probably.
Full count pitch, and that one is in the air to right. This is trouble. Davis will watch this one fly. 3-run home run for Ike Davis, and it's 7-6 Brewers.
Yep, change up, and Ike Davis able to wait back. Finally got a pitch down in the strike zone that he could handle. He's been having a lot of problems with high fastballs, and got one down in the zone and got the Mets right back into this baby. Now 7-6. Look at that changeup, one-handed. Watch how long he keeps that bat in the hitting zone. Nice level swing and carries on out of here. It's a one-run game. Every half inning, there's a run been on the board.
Well, as beautiful as last night's game was on so many levels, just the opposite here tonight. 7-6. We are in the top of the 4th inning. Right bangs one foul off the mask of Kataris.
Yeah, I think that the game is in the 4th inning at about 7:45 yesterday, but it started at 7. Yeah, this is a 6 o'clock start, and it's the top of the 4th. A lot going on the bases.
13 runs on 13 hits already. Ike Davis belts his 5th home run of the season. Gives him 15 RBIs. He started the year in the minor leagues as well. Rookie first baseman. Still just 1 out. Ball and 2 strikes on David Wright. Got him. Estrada strikes him out for the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, the pitch before the home run by Ike Davis was a fastball up. That time Davis laid off of it. Got the changeup, hit it out of the ballpark. This time David Wright not able to lay off that high fastball and swings right through it. Marco Estrada would prefer not to have to throw strikes with the fastball. He wants to get you out with the changeup.
Angel Pagan now for New York. Pagan, the switch hitter. 2 hits today, an infield hit and a stolen base and a run scored in the 2nd. He singled to right his last time up. Strike 2. Ike Davis with a 3-run homer from 7-3 to 7-6 in Estrada's 1st inning. And he rings him up. Estrada punches out Pagan. Back-to-back strikeouts, but a 3-run homer by Davis makes it 7-6. And now the Brewers catcher ready to hit. George Kataris homered his last time up. He'll bat when we continue. had a monster game already. A grand slam home run in the first inning. George Kataris then homered in the second inning. That was also a 2-out home run. And then Hart again, a 2-run shot in the third. 7 runs on the board for Milwaukee. Unfortunately, the Mets are doing some hitting of their own. They have 6 runs on 8 hits. Ike Davis with a 3-run home run in the top of this 4th inning. 7-6 Brewers. Top of the order, Ricky Weeks to lead off against Oliver Perez.
Well, it's a series for everybody so far. If you like pitching, yesterday was your game. If you like a lot of offense, you got it tonight.
How about you, Rock? Where do you fall?
I like the pitcher's duels.
Yeah, so do I.
Back in the old days.
There's something special about a 0-0 game going into the 9th inning, right?
Dramatics. Yep.
Speaking of pitching, we've got our eye on a game in Florida. Roy Halladay of the Phillies is perfect against the Marlins through 6 2/3 innings. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one for you as well tonight. Halladay was roughed up in his last start, his worst start of the year against Boston. And his shortest start of the year, 5 2/3 innings. Gave up 7 runs against the Red Sox. Weeks sends one down the line. That is fair. That is to the corner. And the speedy Ricky Weeks around second. He's going to try for third. The throw comes in. It's late. It's a triple for Weeks. It's like cool Papa Bell around the bags. He ends up at third with a leadoff triple.
Yeah, Ricky doing a nice job waiting back and just trying to get the barrel of the bat on it. A fastball up and away. Nice short stroke by Ricky. And once it gets down in that corner, he knew he had a chance for a leadoff triple. Oh, Ricky running hard right out of the box. And right about there, Ricky's thinking, I'm going to make third base. And able to make it easily.
Fun to watch. One of the fastest Brewers, Ricky Weeks, with his second triple. And here is Kataris now. Infield is in for New York. Kataris a chance to drive in another run. He homered his last time up. Let's take you back to the second inning. Short, compact stroke of George Kataris as he rips one out of here to the Tundra territory in right center.
He's got a nice, easy swing. Check out the belt buckle on the left. That's the point of contact. And check out the wrists. The top hand hasn't rolled yet. That only rolls after contact. The bottom hand leads the barrel, leads the bat through the strike zone. Top hand doesn't take over until the point of contact. And you saw the good stiff front leg, the stiff front side, the nice bend in the back leg, and a perfect swing by George, sending that one out of the ballpark.
Well, Kataris trying to get Weeks to the plate here. Runner third, nobody out. Infield in.
As we're talking about, the stiff front leg right there. You got the nice bend in the back leg. And as always, the hips lead the barrel of the bat, the belt buckle facing the pitcher. That's what you want to see at the point of contact.
Kataris trying to at least get one in the air to the outfield here. And he bounces one foul. Sweeping breaking ball from Perez.
You know, the other thing you like about Kataris at the top of the order, the fact that he does not strike out a whole lot. Now, George, don't strike out here and make a liar out of me. 9 strikeouts is all to go along with 21 walks before tonight's game. That's a tremendous walk to strikeout ratio.
And one of the reasons why Ken Maka put him in the 2-hole tonight. A fastball misses upstairs. Perez dropped down a little 3/4 with that fastball. I think he surprised Kataris.
Very rarely swings and pitches out of the strike zone.
Full count. Weeks over at third. And he stays alive on the curve. Ready for the 3-2, and that one just missed. Kataris continues to show a good eye, and it's a walk to put runners at the corners for Ryan Braun.
Well, 2 more times on base today for George, improving that already very good on base percentage, which is why he's in the number 2 spot.
Well, the sluggers are coming up. Braun, then Fielder, then McGee. 2 on to start the inning. Mets are back in their middle infield. They're looking for a double play. They'll concede the run to turn the double play and get the 2 outs.
Yeah, similar situation last night. They had the infield in, but runs were tough to come by last night. They're pretty cheap tonight, at least so far.
Broken back, little bouncer coming in is Castillo to the bag for 1 to turn for 2. A run will score, but it's a 4-3 double play. No RBI for Braun. 8-6 Milwaukee. But now 2 outs and nobody aboard.
Yeah, pretty good off-speed pitch by Oliver Perez that time. Ryan chasing one, breaks his bat right in half, and a easy double play for Luis Castillo.
Here's Fielder now. Fielder has been on twice. He scored twice. Elmer descends. Former Brewer warming up in the Mets bullpen. The glue. The glue is back in Milwaukee.
The glue is right.
On the corner for a strike, and it's 1-2 on Fielder. Well, Roy Halladay Rock is now through 7 perfect innings against the Florida Marlins. Phillies have a 1-0 lead. As Fielder strikes out. Well, a promising inning to start. The Brewers do get 1 and an 8-6 lead as we head to the 5th. yet to post a scoreless inning thus far. Our AT&T trivia tonight. To give you something to think about, name the 3 major league teams that have not thrown a no-hitter. And we can tell you that one of those is not going to occur with one of those teams here tonight. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, that one didn't make it through the first inning.
First batter is Barajas, and a pop-up on the first pitch. Escobar makes a catch, 1 gone here in the 5th.
First time the Brewers have been able to retire the leadoff hitter tonight. First 4 innings for the Mets. Leadoff hitters aboard, 3 hits and a walk.
Nice crowd on hand tonight. Some tickets available for tomorrow. We hope you'll come see us at the ballpark. Matinee tomorrow against the Mets. Going to see a knuckleballer tomorrow for New York. R.A. Dickey. R.A. Dickey starts for the Mets. The Brewers will send up Randy Wolf. Coming off a win his last time out. There's a floater in there for a strike. 1-1 on Francoeur, who's never found a pitch he didn't want to swing at. Except that one. That's a strike on the corner. 1-2.
Yeah, he likes to swing. He's very dangerous. First ball, fastball hitter. Got to be careful throwing him a fastball over the plate at any time.
Francoeur with just 13 walks this year. Played in 49 games for the Mets. That's much improved from where he was with Atlanta a season ago. Little pop-up, long run for Fielder near the railing, off his glove.
Actually overran it just a bit. Looks like that went off the heel of the glove. Prince battling that railing over there. Check it out. Yep, heel of the glove. It'll probably go down as a no play. Did not happen.
Chris Narveson taking his life in his own hands there. Fielder barreling in. I had you all the way, Prince. Just missed. 3-2. And Francoeur pops it up. Similar spot. Long run for Fielder. Even Estrada gets into the act and lays out. How about the effort from the Brewer pitcher right there?
Come on, Marco. We don't want you to do that. Pretty good effort, though. All 3 of them in no man's land out there. Ball dropped safely, but Prince is getting his sprints in.
Well, we are keeping an eye on the Marlins and the Phillies. Roy Halladay has a perfect game going, and a strikeout of Dan Uggla for the second out. So he is with 2 outs in the 8th. 7 2/3. Perfect.
How about that pitch, that comeback sinker? Catch in the outside corner.
Nobody does it better.
No.
Perfect game watch is on. Full count to Francoeur. And he slices one, shallow right, long run for Hart. That's going to fall, a base hit. So the hits keep coming tonight.
Hey, voting is now open for the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. Help send your favorite Brewers to this year's game by voting up to 25 times at Brewers.com. Vote early and vote often. Vote today at Brewers.com.
So 1 gone. Francoeur at first, and here is Alex Cora pinch hitting. Cora started at second base last night. He rolled into the key double play last night with the bases loaded and 1 out. He bounced into the 4-6-3 that ended the inning. and really propelled Gallardo past those early innings. Alex Cora from Miami. He and Ryan Braun went to Miami. They didn't play on the same team there. Cora was much earlier than Braun. Saw last night where Alex's brother Joey managed the White Sox. Ozzie Guillen was away, personal reasons. His daughter's graduation, I believe it was. And Joey Cora was the fill-in manager for the Chicago White Sox last night in Tampa Bay. There's a lot of talk that Alex Cora is a future big league manager, just like his brother Joey.
As a student of the game, he understands the ins and outs of managing and coaching, and certain guys you just look at, you're around on a daily basis, you just say to yourself, this guy's going to be in uniform a long time.
Cora in his second year with the Mets, facing Marco Estrada with 1 out. Marco could use another ground ball here. 8-6 Brewers, only in the 5th. Two and two the count on Cora, and a check on Francoeur at first. Count stays at 2-2. Update from Miami. Halladay against Cody Ross. He got him to pop up. And Roy Halladay is perfect through 8 innings now in Florida. The Brewers will match up with the Marlins next week. A 4-game series in Miami beginning Monday.
Yeah, perfect game puts pressure on everybody out on the field. You don't want to be the guy to make an error, do something that's going to create a base runner, and it's even more difficult when the score is only 1-0. I mean, you're talking about one swing of the bat and it's a tie game.
Yep, already a perfect game this year. Dallas Braden of the Oakland Athletics threw a perfect game on Mother's Day. Ubaldo Jimenez with a no-hitter this year. Of the Rockies. Runner takes off and Cora fouls it away. Well, a couple of Sundays ago, it was quite a Mother's Day for Dallas Braden. He lost his mom to cancer in high school, and that was the peak bat day in Major League Baseball when baseball raises money for breast cancer research. And what a moment for Dallas Braden. Throws the perfect game with his grandmother in the stands. Still one of the top stories of the season. Swing and a miss. Qatar's throw to second is late. Cora strikes out, but Francoeur steals the 3rd base for the Mets in this game.
Yeah, pretty good jump for Jeff Francoeur. He's now 5 for 5 in stolen bases. The changeup gets Cora, and I think a throw right on the bag still doesn't get Jeff Francoeur. So the Mets just continued to steal bases at a pretty good clip this year.
Now the Mets now with 51 stolen bases. Only the Padres with more in the National League. 3rd stolen base today. Top of the order, here's Reyes. Reyes has not been retired. A walk, a stolen base, and a run scored in the 1st. An RBI single in the second, and he singled in the fourth. And this is his second at bat against Marco Estrada. Foul territory in the seats.
Yeah, this is a guy you really have to concentrate down in the strike zone. He loves the ball up in the zone, so we can just flip it out the left. And very good high ball hitter from the left side. Somewhat unusual. Most lefties like it down, not Jose Reyes.
By all accounts, he is back to his old self. Played in just 36 games last year. Had a terrible hamstring injury. Three straight years he led the National League in steals. And in 2007 he stole 78 bases. Led all of baseball that year. Two and one to count. Got a runner at second. Two and two.
A good fastball by Estrada. That one down in the zone about knee high. That's why Reyes had a tough time with it. You get that same pitch about 5 inches up, it's going to get a pretty good whack at it.
And Reyes chases one. Katares has to hurry. No chance here. Another base runner. We're getting base runners in all kinds of ways tonight. A strikeout, a wild pitch, allows Reyes to first base.
And somewhat unusual because Katares done a nice job keeping pitches in the dirt in front of him. And with two strikes, look at a curveball that time from Estrada. I haven't seen too many of those this year. Actually, changeup. My mistake. That one actually goes off the shin guard. Didn't get the knees down quickly enough. Off the shin guard, and Reyes with his good speed able to get to first base.
Todd Coffey getting loose. Oh, what a grinder of a game this is. We're in the fifth inning. 2 on. Castilla drops a bunt down. Katares keeps it fair. Now he's got to hurry. He has no play. Katares touched it in fair territory. And the bases are loaded for the Mets.
And then wasn't sure it was a fair ball. You have to assume a fair ball until you hear differently. Right off the plate, George grabs it, goes back to get it. He looks at the home plate umpire. By that time, it's too late. Well, you see him looking at him. Didn't throw the baseball, didn't have the angle, and held on to it so that Francoeur didn't score from third base.
Now Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, is going to ask for a second opinion, perhaps.
Yeah, Ken Maka coming out. You want to make sure that when Katares touched it, it was actually in fair territory. It certainly looked like it was on the angle that we saw. Actually bounced in front of home plate. Right there, he grabs it. It looked like it was very close. Actually, the corner of that batter's box is actually in fair territory. That baseline runs right through the corner of that batter's box, and it looked like it was pretty close.
Well, Ken Maka is going to make a pitching change here with the bases loaded, and Jason Bay coming up. He is going to go to the power arm of Todd Coffey. we inch our way along. They are moving right along in Florida. Roy Halladay is perfect through 8. This is the first out of the 9th inning. It's Cantu sent Victorino all the way to the warning track. So now Roy Halladay is 2 outs away from a perfect game.
If they were in Philly, that's a home run. That's a long way out there in Philadelphia. I should say in Miami.
Now Todd Coffey having his glove looked at. It's a light colored glove. Now this is a new rule this year. Umpires can make the decision to change gloves this season. I remember this spring Coffey had a glove that was gray.
Yeah, it was gray. I mean, that looks like a normal colored glove. I'm not sure what the big deal is here. A lot of times if a pitcher has the straps a little bit too long, the leather straps that hold the fingers together, if that's too long flopping around, they won't allow that. But I'm not sure what the problem is with this glove.
Well, it looks like Ken Maka saying, look, he's been using this glove all year, and see what they move on it. Now, to me, just judging by this conversation, it's not as if the umpires are looking for sandpaper or anything of that measure. It's just the color of the glove. So, and he's going to have to go get a new glove, but he has one. All right, an update from Miami. Roy Halladay with 1 out in the 9th inning. Facing Big Tex, Wes Helms punches him out. 1 out away from a perfect game for Roy Halladay.
If that doesn't put the burr under your saddle to Todd Coffey, what will? 26th appearance for Coffey. A .430 earned run average, 23 innings. He's got 13 strikeouts and 10 walks. Needs to get a big out from Jason Bay. Got the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Now, just to note, this is not called by the opponent's bench. Now, this is not Jerry Manuel asking to check the glove. This is an umpire situation. Umpires can make the ruling on the glove, and a rule change this year. Light colored gloves from pitchers can be removed. We had an incident earlier this year with Ozzie Guillen and the White Sox and the Yankees. So anyway, the black glove is on.
Had one ready though, didn't he? he was ready for it.
Jason Bay is the batter. This is a big spot. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and one of the Mets' best run producers at the plate. And here we go to Roy Halladay. 9th inning, 2 outs, and Juan Castro makes the play, and that's it. A perfect game for Roy Halladay. So how about that? Roy Halladay with a perfect game joins Jim Bunning, who tossed the only other perfect game in Phillies history. Did it at New York against the Mets in 1964.
Only 2 perfect games already this year. It's not even June. 2 perfect games, a no-hitter. We've got a cycle on the board.
Ground ball to second. Ricky Weeks to fielder. Inning over. Todd Coffey, nicely done. Strands the bases loaded. And our first scoreless inning of the night. Cory Hart, he's homered in his last 3 at-bats. The Wisconsin Lottery and its family of instant scratch games. Odds are you'll like them. By Airtran. Go. There's nothing stopping you. And by GMC. We are professional grade. Well, it's a beautiful Saturday night in Milwaukee. And we have just posted our first scoreless half inning of the ballgame. 8-6 Milwaukee as we head to the bottom of the fifth as Casey McGee bounces one to third. Nice pickup by David Wright, and it's out number one. So on a night when Roy Halladay throws a perfect game, we're anything but here. Cory Hart will face Elmer Descends. Now his last 3 at-bats he has delivered with home runs. The game winner last night in the 9th inning. And a grand slam home run for Cory Hart in the first inning tonight. Then he had a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. So 3 swings, 3 home runs for Cory Hart.
And it's all about pitch selection for Cory. That's what's separated him, from early in the season. And you talk about a guy with 9 home runs in his last 14 games. It's all about laying off that slider off the outside corner. That's been the one and only difference. And the fact that he's been getting some pretty good pitches to hit because of it. And once you get that confidence going, there's really no stopping you.
0-2 to Hart. 6 RBIs tonight for Cory. And he lays off a breaking ball from Elmer Descends, back in the big leagues with the Mets.
At 38 years old, Elmer Descends. He was a Brewer for a short time. His 2nd appearance. He's been with a number of different teams. Most recently, the Dodgers.
And when you say former Brewer, you say former just about everyone. Elmer Descends. He's been around since 1996. Hart into right, and that's playable for Francoeur. Well, Cory Hart has made some kind of transition after a poor spring, and we went to Dale Swaim on some of the changes he's made.
He got rid of the load that he used to have. Now he's got a little more simpler load, and now he's a little more 50-50 in his balance. He's balanced things out a lot more and lowered his hands, and probably more than anything, he's keeping his head on the ball. He always had a trouble with pulling his head and what I call lazy head, and he's been really, really consistent with that lately. And
when you don't have a lazy head, you don't swing at sliders off the outside corner.
That's a good point. Lazy head equals lazy bat. And just to compare Cory Hart in his first 14 games, his last 14 compared to his first 27, 9 home runs in 14 games and 19 driven in. And he is tied for the National League lead in home runs at this point after his 2 today. Gomez down the right field line. That is a fair ball. And here goes Gomez. Look at him run. He's around second. On his way to third. And he's in there without a throw. Wow. That was beautiful. Carlos Gomez unhitching the wagon there.
Most guys are thinking 3 when they hit a ball down in the corner like that. Gomez thinking 4. He knows he's got 3. Right here, he knows he's got a triple. Any bobble, anything, any problem out there in the corner, or they miss a cutoff man, Gomez is thinking about an inside the park home run. Francoeur able to get to it. He's got a terrific arm, and he gets it in. And Gomez busted it around second base in high gear and able to get in there standing.
His 2nd triple. Boy, that was impressive to see Gomez full out. Here's Escobar with a chance to drive him in. 8-6 Brewers here in the 5th inning.
And the Brewers now tied for the National League lead in triples with the Mets. They've now got 15.
Escobar is the league leader as he lines out to right. Hit it right on the button, but well positioned was Francoeur, and it's still 8-6. AT&T Trivia tonight. Name the 3 Major League teams that have not thrown a no-hitter. Of course, the Brewers have one in their franchise history. Juan Nieves, caught by my partner Bill Schroeder. But the 3 teams who have not had a no-hitter, the Rays, the Padres, and the New York Mets. It was 4 when we began the year, but Ubaldo Jimenez took care of that with the Colorado Rockies. And on a night when Roy Halladay not only throws a no-hitter, but throws a perfect game against the Florida Marlins, joining Jim Bunning, current U.S. Senator from Kentucky. Bunning threw a perfect game against the Mets back in '64, June 21st of '64.
And a high-stress perfect game, a 1-0 lead. You're not only worried about losing your perfect game, no-hitter, you have a chance to lose a game.
Second perfect game of the year. Dallas Braden has the other. It was Mark Burley last year. Then you go back to Randy Johnson. He had 04. By the way, that is the 10th no-hitter in Phillies franchise history. 10.
Yeah.
How about that?
They've been around a while.
Almost from day one. The Reds are the oldest official professional team in the National League, the Cincinnati Reds. They were the original one.
The Red Legs.
Back when they had Johnny Bench and Joe Moore. No, just kidding. In the late 1800s, 1876. Davis sends one deep to center field. Gomez will run it down. Todd Coffey.
Well, let's check out tonight's time of the game winner. It's the bullpen in Forestville. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a 2010 Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. Forestville up on the peninsula just east of Green Bay, if you were wondering.
It's nice this time of year. All summer and into the fall. Unless you're an ice fisherman, then you can Throw the shanty up and get out there and do your thing.
Yep. Look into a hole in the ice. Good fun.
David Wright with one away. So we go until the 5th inning tonight for our first scoreless inning. Plenty of runs on the board up until that point. So now Coffey trying to settle things down.
Hard to believe it's the 5th inning already.
Well, let's see. Roy Halladay's game started at exactly the same time as ours tonight.
Making up for yesterday.
It's fun in a different kind of way.
Right. Like I said, a series for everybody.
Little pitching, little defense, little offense, and a bunch of crooked numbers until the 5th. A scoreless inning both ways. As Coffey punches out David Wright. In case you're wondering, the franchise with the most no-hitters. Take a guess, Ron, as you set up this strikeout.
That strikeout, nice pitch on the outside corner. No idea. Red Sox.
Red Sox, a very good guess. They are the American League leaders in no-hitters with 19.
Yankees?
The Dodgers.
Dodgers. Okay, yeah.
20 no-hitters.
20 no-hitters.
In the franchise.
Goodness.
It's amazing. Starting in Brooklyn, currently in Los Angeles. And I think Vin Scully has called every one of them. Now in his 60th year in the booth. Well, congratulations to Roy Halladay. What a comeback.
He's something else.
After his last start against the Red Sox, many thought he was done. No, just kidding. He just had a bad day. Gave up 7 runs against Boston, but he comes back with an extra day's rest and 2 extra days rest, actually. Throws a perfect game. Yeah, they were wondering what they had in Roy Halladay after that last start.
Well, you knew it wasn't going to be back-to-back bad games, but who would have thought the perfect game? Pretty good hitting ball club, those Florida Marlins. They could score some runs.
For sure.
Of course, Dallas Braden threw his perfect game against the Rays. Not too many offenses better than them.
That's a good point, too. And Mark Burley threw his perfect game against the Rays last year. Remember that catch Dwayne Wise made in left center?
Yeah. Really good.
Angel Pagan with 2 outs. Coffey trying to post the first 3-up, 3-down inning of the game. 8-6 Brewers. And he struck him out. Todd Coffey with a bender. Back-to-back strikeouts for Coffey in a 3-up, 3-down 6th inning. To the home 6th we go. Pitcher spot due up first. Then we go to the top of the order. Wonder who's going to hit. Well, the Mets and the Brewers. Let's get you caught up. It has been Cory Hart's night tonight. Boy, I mean, he has 2 home runs in this game. He and Kataris have hit home runs. Hart, with 6 runs batted in, had a grand slam in the first inning and a 2-run shot in the third. And our cousin subs game reset. Brewers 8, Mets 6, as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning from Miller Park. Well, we were wondering who will lead off. And it's Big Red himself, Todd Coffey.
Yeah, leave him in there. He's throwing the baseball pretty well. He's got that power sinker going, a good slider to get Angel Pagan.
So Todd Coffey had to steal a helmet and a bat. Rolls to David Wright. And 1 pitch and 1 out. Coffey didn't take much time.
Coffey pitching like he's a little bit upset about that glove situation.
They made him change his glove, his light colored glove, to a black one. You know, when I think about Todd Coffey at the plate, I think about that game he had against the Mets. Remember last year in April when he laid down a bunt and stayed in the game. Now look, Coffey runs harder than that coming in from the bullpen. So I guess once that jog is over, that sprint.
I think what slowed him down was those bees in his hands after he got done swinging the bat. He was thinking more about the vibration in that bat than he was trying to get down to first base. But he made contact. Hey, what's the matter with that?
Not a good vibration. He's got a couple of outs to shake it off. If you're wondering, that was Coffey's 7th career at bat, and he remains hitless. But he didn't strike out. He had 5 strikeouts in his first 6 at bats. Top of the order, Ricky Weeks against Elmer DeSenz. So as we start winding our way toward the later innings, start to wonder how Ken Maka will set up the bullpen. Who closes if you get in that spot? Is it Axford? Is it Trevor Hoffman? Ricky Weeks into center field, playable for Pagan. And Weeks is retired. So here's Coffey coming out of the bullpen, and on the left, Coffey going to first base on the right.
See, he's got the shoulders nice and tight to the side when he's running into home from the bullpen. I mean, that's his comfort zone.
Right.
He's kind of flopping the arms around a little bit going down to first base. Not used to, not sure what to do.
I think he put up the flaps when he knew it was inevitable he was going to be out, right? It's good work in the truck.
Which was basically when he walked up to home plate. Hey, make contact. That's all you can do. Hope for the best. Put the bat on the baseball.
Whatever he does at the plate doesn't matter as well as he's pitching. He's retired the first 4 batters he's faced and struck out the last 2 hitters of the 6th inning. Kataris against DeSenz takes strike 2. Kataris has a home run tonight and a walk. Hit his 4th home run in the 2nd inning. 4 homers and 60 at bats this year. It's a good ratio.
He seems very relaxed up there at the plate. Not a lot of movement in that swing. He does have that high leg kick. But the upper half of his body very still until he decides to swing at the baseball.
They cut it a miss. Down he goes as Kataris strikes out. DeSenz a 3-up, 3-down inning. We go to the 7th. Is presented by the new Miller Lite Vortex bottle. Taste greatness. And by Toyota. Thank you for standing by us. For more information, visit buyatoyota.com. Beautiful Saturday night in Milwaukee, and we are back on the air tomorrow at 12:30 for Brewers Live, the final game of this series. Monday, Memorial Day in Miami. And we're on the air at 11:30. Check that airtime. So 11:30 airtime Monday against the Marlins, who were no hit and perfect game tonight by Roy Halladay. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin. As you see, Chris Capuano. How many times can a player be called up and sent down to the minor leagues?
As many as you want. But you can only do that 3 years to a player, and then he becomes a minor league free agent. Is that of options? If you do it the 4th year to him, he can go to somebody else. That's a rule to protect the player, not the organization, certainly.
Question from Henry. We appreciate that. Chris Capuano was not on a major league roster, by the way.
Adam Stern's already been here 3 different times.
Roster move before the game today. Capuano to the big leagues. Claudio Vargas was designated for assignment. And Capuano threw 4 innings last night, so he is not available in the bullpen. He'll go into the starting rotation.
Designated for assignment. You have 10 days to either trade him, release him, or send him to the minor leagues. Vargas has to agree to go to the minor leagues, which I doubt he will do.
You get the feeling that someone will pick up Vargas. As Rod Barajas pops it up to right. And Todd Coffey is mowing him down. 5 up, 5 down since he came into the game in the 5th inning.
He's been able to keep that fastball down. He's got good movement on it, and the slider has been very quick and sharp. Coffey gets into trouble when he overthrows and his pitches end up in the upper end of the strike zone. And when they get upstairs, up around the belt, they don't sink. That's when he gets into trouble.
Well, he was used primarily as a setup man last year. Typically a 1-inning pitcher, and it was typically the 8th. This year he has been used in a bridge role. Get through the 5th or 6th, just like he is tonight. He's had a number of multiple inning outings this year. Henry Mejia, the young flamethrower, out loosening in the Mets bullpen. Jeff Francoeur at the plate. He's been on base all 3 times. 2 singles and a walk, and he had a stolen base in the 5th. One, 2, and down he goes. Coffey spins a slider up there, and Francoeur strikes out. 2 outs in the inning. Say for just $25, you can get 2 Terrace Reserve tickets to one of 5 select Brewers Fair Friday games and 2 Wisconsin State Fair adult gate admission tickets. But any day during the fair's 11-day run. And the offer ends July 31st. Visit Brewers.com for more info. Going to have a pinch hitter here in the 7th inning with 2 outs. Chris Carter off the bench. And the 3rd hitter off the bench for Jerry Manuel. And a quick scouting report from Rick Peterson.
And 2 left on the bench. Fernando Tatis, the veteran right-handed batter, and Henry Blanco, the other catcher. Brewers, on the other hand, looking pretty good. They've had pitchers trot to the plate tonight. All bench players available for Ken Maka as we are here in the 7th inning. Counsell, English, Stern left-handed, and Jonathan LaCroix from the right side.
Starters are long gone in this one. For the Mets, Fernando Nieve went 2 innings. Manny Parra went 3 for the Brewers. But Coffey has come in here and done a terrific job at this point. 2 outs. Here's Carter. And another strike, a breaking ball.
Yeah, good slider. That's a nice slider. That's one of the best sliders that he's had so far this year. Very short and quick. Tough to pick up out of the hand.
Trevor Hoffman in the bullpen. Saw Braddock and Villanueva throwing just a moment ago. Everybody's ready tonight after that complete game shutout by Gallardo. The 0-2 in the dirt, and a good play back there by Kataris. Now, Coffey's outing began with home plate umpire Jeff Kellogg asking him to remove his glove from the game, a light colored glove. He went to the black one. He might have the black one on next game. It's worked out pretty well so far. Little pop up. Escobar will make the call, and Todd Coffey in the spotlight here. 7 up, 7 down for Coffey with 3 strikeouts. A big job out of the bullpen.
Eight-6 over the Mets, and what a difference a day makes as far as pitching goes. Manny Parra could not even come close to what Giovanni Gallardo did last night, but who really can at this point? That was a great game last night. Evaluate what you saw to Manny earlier in this one.
Well, actually, I thought the pitch selection was very good. The problem that Manny was having was location tonight. He had problems getting behind hitters. When you get behind hitters, you get bad locations, your pitch count gets up, and that's exactly what happened for Manny tonight.
And we've seen it in the past sometimes when Manny Parra has followed Giovanni Gallardo, he carries that steam a little bit. Didn't seem to be the case today. Maybe we'll catch up with Manny Parra during our post-game report here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. We'll hear from the skipper, of course, Ken Maka. The Brewers going for another series win at home. It's all about getting those series wins right now, isn't it?
Well, no question. That's what they want to do. You don't come back and get back to that winning record, but you've got to take it one game at a time, one series at a time.
All right, looking forward to Brewers post-game presented by Lincoln Mercury coming up in just a bit, Brian.
Craig, Jerry, thanks a lot. We look forward to that as Henry Mejia will pitch for the New York Mets in relief of Elmer Descends. He is the 4th Mets pitcher tonight. Nieves started, went 2. Descends coming off 2 innings. And here is the young Mejia. Ryan Braun leads off for the Brew Crew, and he swings and lines one foul. That one slices into the seats.
He had a pretty good arm, but he can be wild. You saw the numbers for Mejia. Too many walks, and 15 strikeouts. He's been unscored upon in 16 of 21 appearances. And he's pretty tough against lefties.
20 years of age. Pitching in the big city of New York, and he's handled the spotlight well. This guy was an A-ball at this time last year. Single A and Double A a season ago. Port St. Lucie in the Florida State League and Binghamton of the Eastern League, and now he's in the National League pitching for the New York Mets.
Doesn't take you long when you have a big arm like he does. Looks like he's got some pretty good sink to that fastball at about 96.
There used to be golden rules about how many innings a pitcher would need before you would even consider bringing him up to the major leagues, and it was somewhere around 500 innings. Vary between organizations.
But when you get team earned run averages around 5, you kind of forget about that rule. You get a guy with a good arm, bring him up and see what he can do.
47 career minor league games, 210 minor league innings. Had a lot of strikeouts and a lot of walks in the minor leagues for the Mets. Little bouncer to short. That is off the glove of Reyes. And Ryan Braun is aboard.
Hit it hard, a slider that time from Mejia, and off the glove of Jose Reyes. Should have had it, but it will be a single. It's a base hit for Ryan Braun.
Second hit of the game for Braun.
He got throwing 96, and he drops the curveball, the slider, whatever you want to call it. And check out Ryan Braun. I mean, he reaches out. He's got that long bat, 35-inch bat. A couple of hops right off the glove of Jose Reyes. Well, he covers the plate as well as anybody in baseball.
Here's Fielder now with Braun at first. By the way, Braun's hit gives him a multi-hit game, and that gives him 20 multi-hit games this year. That's third in the league behind only Ryan Howard and Martin Prado. Those two have 21 this season. So just another category you'll find Ryan Braun's name. As Braun takes off, the pitch is down and in. The throw to second is late. A stolen base for Ryan Braun, his 11th.
And not a bad throw by Barajas. He's had a tough time throwing out base runners this year. Didn't get much help from his pitcher that time. Ryan Braun 11 for 11 in stolen bases, and Barajas has only thrown out one base runner in now 14 attempts.
That's a big steal. Braun in scoring position now for Fielder in a 2-0 count.
Check out Ryan Braun, the way he's able to cover home plate. You can see the body's looking to pull the ball just a little bit, but he's able to reach out with the upper half. You don't have much power that way, but the way he stands tall and has that leverage, he's still able to hit it hard enough to get it off the glove of Reyes.
Fielder in a 3-1 count. He is 1 for 2 tonight. Couple of runs scored. He's walked once. And a strike by Mejia. 96 miles an hour. It's not a straight ball either. It's got a little wrinkle to it.
Yes, it does. A lot of room up the middle for Prince Fielder. And then the hole over it short. David Wright has to stay put relatively close, or Ryan Braun just steal third base.
Fielder walks. So Prince continues to draw the walks. Had about a week span where he was chasing pitches all over the strike zone. Back to his good eye, and that means base runners for Casey McGee.
All started in Minneapolis. I mean, he really started to have a good eye and very patient at the plate, and it has continued on this homestand.
Fielder has 8 walks on this homestand. And this is the 5th game 32 walks for the season. So 2 on for McGee. Nobody out. 8-6 Brewers in the 7th. Cory Hart will hit next, already with 2 home runs.
That's a nasty sink at 96 miles an hour. That looks like a splitter. But nobody could throw a splitter at 96 miles an hour.
Two and on Casey McGee. 0 for 2 with a walk here tonight. He did score a run in the first. He drew a key walk in that first inning to get Hart to the plate. Casey chased one in his eyes. A frustrating at bat for him. On a 2-0 pitch, he pops it up. Infield fly rule was in effect. First out of the inning for Mejia. And here comes Cory Hart. He's hit a 4-run home run and a 2-run home run. And he's up there with 2 on this time around. Jimmy John's delivery of the game. The grand slam home run from Hart. A 2-out grand slam. His first career grand slam. After he belted his first career walk-off home run last night. And Cory now with 6 RBIs, which ties a career high. Had a 6 RBI game way back in 06, September of 06 against the Dodgers. And he's got a chance to improve on that one. That's a pretty good looking at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Miguel Cabrera had a 3-homer game last night for the Tigers. And a losing effort.
Well, he continues to drive in a bunch of runs. He's having a terrific season over there in Detroit.
Two on with 1 away. And Hart bangs one to center field. This is playable. Braun's going to tag. Pagan catches and Braun stops. Hart just missed it. 2 outs.
Seems to be centering on just about everything, doesn't he? Just got under that one. Had a good swing though.
Now Mejia has come back and gotten 2 out with 2 men aboard. And now it's Carlos Gomez. Gomez tripled his last time up. Going to triple down the right field line. We've had 3 home runs and 2 triples in this game. Gomez dropped down in the batting order tonight. Had been hitting second. Tonight hitting 7th. Kataris moved into the 2-hole and he responded. A home run and a walk.
Yeah, and that's why he's up there. Carlos Gomez, an on-base percentage at .302, as opposed to George Kataris at over .420.
One ball, 1 strike. Count goes to 1-2. Now the way this game is going, Brewers could use some runs. 8-6 is the lead for Milwaukee. All of the runs came in the first 4 innings for both clubs. And zeros since the 4th. Todd Coffey has come on and done a terrific job out of the bullpen. His longest outing since last August against the Reds. Coffey goes 2 1/3 tonight.
And really never seemed to be in any trouble getting ahead in the count. Just about all 7 batters that he faced, he struck 3 of them out.
7 up, 7 down for Coffey in relief of Marco Estrada, who went an inning and 2/3. Parra started. He went 3. Now in the middle of all the action on Thursday afternoon, Ricky Weeks drawing the bases loaded walk to win the game. Remember, it was Carlos Gomez in that 9th inning who tied it to force the extra innings, and then Weeks' walk in the 10th. Gomez had a hit and an RBI against Matt Lindstrom, the Astros closer.
So he can handle velocity pretty well.
2-2 on Gomez. And a bouncer over to third. That's a foul ball. Thursday afternoon, the first of back-to-back final at-bat wins for the Brewers. It was Gomez who tied it. That was a one-out single that scored Escobar. And then Weeks had the bases-loaded walk.
Yeah, Lindstrom in the low to mid 90s, and you got Mejia today, the mid to upper 90s with a fastball.
Out to Castillo. Side retired. First two reach. They are stranded. And we head to the 8th inning at Miller Park.
Hello. Mets taking on the Brewers tomorrow. Coverage begins at 12:30 in the afternoon. A very warm day. Good deal of sunshine. Our first pitch temperature 85 degrees. Nice day for doing some tailgating.
It's always a nice day for tailgating, Kate, right? Especially tomorrow. We hope you're having a great Memorial Day weekend, and we hope you stay safe, stay smart, And remember what the day is all about in the first place.
No doubt. All about our service folks. As Carlos Villanueva takes over here tonight as we head to the 8th inning. 24th appearance for Carlos, a .281 earned run average. 34 strikeouts in just shy of 26 innings of work to go along with 10 walks. Good numbers for Villa.
8th inning, 8-6, Milwaukee as they lead the New York Mets. Top of the order for New York. In the uniforms of the New York Cubans. It is our Negro Leagues tribute day today here at Miller Park. Going to have an auction for these game-worn jerseys after this game, and they'll raise a good amount of money. Jose Reyes has been a tough out. Even when they've gotten him out, he reached base. Struck out in the 5th inning, but it was a pitch in the dirt, and he ended up at first on a wild pitch. Igarashi is in the bullpen. He's the pitcher who gave up Cory Hart's game-winning home run last night.
A nice contrast in pitching styles for the Brewers. After Todd Coffey throwing in the mid-90s with his fastball, you got the off-speed specialist Carlos Villanueva.
And he strikes out Reyes. Kataris will have to secure it at first, and he does so. So 1 out to start this 8th inning on a strikeout for Villanueva.
Good slider down in the dirt, and Reyes for the 2nd time couldn't hold up. This time they're able to get the out at first base.
There's a strike to Castillo. Another switch hitter in this Mets lineup. Zach Braddock will head to the bullpen mound.
You know, should it get to Ike Davis, you might see Braddock in the ball game.
One ball, 1 strike on Castillo. 1-2. Castillo, in his last time at the plate, he reached on an infield hit, but he bunted the baseball and was hobbled going to first base. He's been dealing with a foot issue. He's got a bone bruise on his left foot, as you see John Axford starting to loosen up as well. Kind of an odd play last time up. He bunted it straight down. Kataris reached for it quickly and touched the baseball. It was then called fair. The ball dropped to the ground. Kataris couldn't find the handle, and Castillo ended up being safe to load the bases in that 5th inning. That's when Coffey came on and got Jason Bay to end it.
After they ejected his glove.
Todd Coffey had his glove ejected. And here's that play we're talking about.
Well, it doesn't matter where the fielder is. It's where the ball is when it gets touched. And according to the home plate umpire, Jeff Kellogg, the ball is in fair territory. I have inclined to agree with him.
That was a sticky situation in the 5th inning with the bases loaded, but Coffey got Bay to ground out, and that's how the inning ended. As Castillo lines one to center, and Gomez almost overran it. Gomez came in. That ball had a little more carry than he thought. Out number 2, but by no means routine.
He made it look good. Made a couple of hard steps in, and then realized had to get backpedaled in, had to leap for it. Our Home Depot doing more on defense, and the heartbeat skipped a beat. pretty good wood on that baseball, and Gomez able to make up for it.
All depends on the edit point, whether that's a highlight play or not. If you run the whole play, it's not. If you come there at the end, it's a tip of your hat.
It's an out.
Nice going. Two gone for Jason Bay. Villanueva trying to get through this eighth. 1, 2, 3. Bay batting in the 3-hole for the Mets. He's been a tough out here tonight. 2 hits, an RBI. He's been on base 3 times.
Has there been an easy out tonight? Yeah, with the pitchers, it's been like pulling teeth getting outs. Of course, the latter part of this ball game has been a bit different. First 5 innings were tough. Actually, first 4.
0-2 the count on Bay. Breaking ball missed. Coffey retired 7 straight. Villanueva has the first 2 here in the 8th. Alcides Escobar due to lead off in the bottom of the 8th. John Axford loosening. Got him. Villanueva strikes out Bay. 3 up, 3 down. And 10 in a row retired by Coffey and Villanueva to get us to the bottom of the 8th inning. Nice work. Tonight gave up 3 runs in 3 innings, but the benefactor of some runs early, a grand slam home run by Cory Hart in the first, his first career grand slam. His second time up, he hit a 2-run homer. We've also seen a couple of triples in this game. Ricky Weeks, his second of the year, and Carlos Gomez right about in the same spot. 3 home runs, 2 triples for the Brewers here tonight, and an 8-6 lead. Roof is wide open on a gorgeous night for baseball here in Brewtown. 8-6 Brewers, and it is Ryota Igarashi on the mound once again for New York.
On the disabled list for a while with a bad hamstring, a 6.48 ERA. Include those run totals include a 2-run home run in last night's ball game by Cory Hart.
Fifth pitcher used by Jerry Manuel. Escobar leads off, and then looks like Joe Inglet will pinch hit. He's in the on-deck circle. He'll hit for Villanueva. Well, in a game of offense, at this point, The late inning relief for the Brewers has been the story, starting with Todd Coffey with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 5th.
Yeah, well, the Mets through the first 5 innings left 9 runners stranded and were only 5 for 15 with runners in scoring position. Since that time, they have not had a man at first base. It's been 10 up and 10 down.
John Axford preparing for a possible save situation. Now, Ken Maka told us yesterday there's a scenario where he would use Trevor in a closing situation, but apparently this is not one of those scenarios. And a base hit by Escobar to the opposite field. Escobar's first hit, on base for the 2nd time as he leads off the 8th with a single.
Well, a couple of days ago, Ken Maka mentioned that if there was a 3-run save, a 3-run lead for the Brewers, he would consider using Trevor Hoffman in a save situation. So I would imagine perhaps if the Brewers able to get a run, you might see Trevor in there. Now, base hit to right, a good start for the Brewers, and one of their best pinch hitters coming to the plate.
So here is Joe Inglet. 7 for 20 at the plate as a pinch hitter and a .350 batting average.
Newer pinch hitters have been very good so far this year through the first 2 months.
As a team, the Brewers pinch hitters are batting .288. 8 runs batted in as well. In stark contrast to last year, especially in the first 2 months. In April and May of '09, a .143 batting average from the pinch hitters.
No, they were dead last in the National League all season last year. '09, not a very good season as for the pinch hitters. Already this year, 19 pinch hits, including 2 home runs. It's a good start.
Escobar, a lot of speed at first. And he takes off. Inglet swings through it. Escobar steals the base. That was a nice play by Reyes to keep it in the infield. Another stolen base for Milwaukee. Braun stole one last inning. And now Escobar with a bag to get into scoring position.
Barajas having all kinds of problems throwing out base runners. This one not even close. I think if he puts it on the bag, it might be an out, but that not even close. Short hops Reyes, and as you mentioned, doing a nice job keeping it in the infield. The ball gets by him. Escobar, you can see, pops right up. Would have been at third base.
That's the most important reason for the feet first slide, the pop-up slide. It's funny you should bring that up because I was talking to Ed Cedar, about base running and some of the best base runners, and he loves the way Escobar runs the bases and slides. He said he's our best slider, not to pitch the slider, but on the ground. He said the guy really knows how to go to the bag. He pays attention where the baseball is, and he can get to his feet quickly. Kind of a lost art.
Yeah.
And Inglet pops up a bunt. It's caught by Igarashi. So Joe trying to advance Escobar to third. Pops it up, and Escobar stays at second.
No, the way Inglet has been able to make contact is kind of surprised that he wasn't allowed to try and pull one on the ground, or at least hit one to the right side and get Escobar to third base that way instead of giving himself up. Not able to get it done.
One gone. Escobar at second for Weeks. 1 for 4 tonight. He tripled and scored a run in the 4th. The 8th run for the Brewers. Turns out to be a big run. Weeks scored on a double play. Ryan Braun rolled into a 4-3 double play. So no RBI for Braun, but he did deliver the run that gave the Brewers a 2-run cushion. And that one is hit in the air to center field. Escobar will tag, Pagan the catch, and Escobar will make it to third. 2 outs. Weeks retired. And a big run to pick up over at third base for George Kataris.
Boy, that's why it's so important when you have a man at second with nobody out. Figure out a way, any way you can, to get him over to third base with less than 2. You know, Weeks with the fly ball would have scored a run, but not the case.
Kataris has homered tonight. Had a second inning home run against Fernando Nieve. Out to second, Castillo will make the play, and that sets the stage for the ninth. The Axeman cometh. John Axford for the save when we come back. Tonight, our Menards player of the game, at least at this point, Todd Coffey. He came down and settled down a hitterish night. Coffey 2 1/3. He got out of a bases loaded jam in the 5th. He retired all 7 he faced. 7 up, 7 down with 3 strikeouts for Todd Coffey. And he bridged the gap. Villanueva a scoreless 8th. And here we go to the 9th. And it's the young John Axford. 2-run lead to work with. Ike Davis leads off. And the first pitch is in there for a strike.
Yeah, talking about big velocity, John Axford, that big fastball has been very good. The slider equally as good, a 2.57 ERA. He's got 1 save on the year.
Had a save last year for the Brewers in the final regular season game. And that big slider in there for a strike. Axford picked up his first win of his major league career on Thursday in that 10-inning win against the Astros. A matchup of rookies to start this 9th. John Axford and Ike Davis, both in prominent roles for their clubs. Axford closing games, Davis batting cleanup for New York. And the sweet Raleigh fingers working for Axford. Little bouncer. McGee's got it. Long throw is in time.
They just stayed with the hard stuff on Ike Davis. Davis' home run came on a changeup. So Axford wasn't about to speed up his bat and throw the slider. Went with a fastball away and an easy out to third base.
Axford is 27 years of age. Got into 7 games last year. Bit of a late bloomer. He went to Notre Dame and injured his elbow. He had Tommy John elbow surgery as well. Took him a little while through the minor leagues. He actually was signed by the Yankees back in '06, but didn't make his debut until last September with the Brewers. Facing David Wright. From Ontario. Got an all-Ontario battery here with Kataritz and Axford. Right off the hands. Back is Weeks. 2 outs for Axford.
I got to wonder why David Wright would swing at that pitch. They need base runners. It's a 2-0 count. The pitch was out of the strike zone, so a big break for John Axford and the Brewers. Well, why do you swing at this pitch? You need a base runner. I mean, even if you hit a home run, you're still behind. Ball 3 ends up to be out number 2. There's a head scratcher.
Angel Pagan. Big fastball. Well, if Axford continues to get outs and close games with the handlebar mustache alone, he will launch into cult status here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, the amazing thing about Axford so far, his ability to throw strikes consistently.
I didn't miss by much. Invoking memories of Raleigh fingers with that handlebar. An out away from his 3rd career save. Count goes to 1-2. Mets down to their last strike. Brewers have won 4 of their last 5. Trying to add 1 more to it. And Pagan just got a piece. The Brewers winning a series from the Astros, their first series win at home since the opening series of the year against the Rockies. And a strike away from guaranteeing another series win at home. Ball and 2 strikes on Pagan. 2-2. It's really been a tale of 2 games here tonight. The first 4 innings. You could even say 4+ because the Mets did have the bases loaded in the 5th. The bullpen has come on and done a terrific job to this point. Here we go, another 2-strike pitch. Pagan hanging tough. Axford came in on Thursday pitched a scoreless inning in the 10th. He threw 9 pitches. 8 of them were for strikes.
Well, 13 pitches so far tonight. Last night it was Pregame called out on strikes in the 8th inning, or the 9th inning, I should say, on a fastball at the knees.
2-2. Got him. John Oxford saves it for the Brewers. And an 8-6 win for Milwaukee. Cory Hart bangs out 2 home runs, 3 home runs in the game, but rocked the story tonight. The late inning relief for Milwaukee.
That was amazing when you look at what the bullpen was able to do. 13 straight to end this ball game and really bringing this game back to some semblance of order. So Cory Hart, the big star offensively, and the Brewer bullpen as a group able to get it done here tonight.
13 up, 13 down with 6 strikeouts. A winner for the Brewers tonight, and still much more to come on this game. Let's check in with Craig Deshawn, who's coming up next on Brewers Live, sponsored by Lincoln Mercury. What do you have for us, Craig?
Well, we have lots of good stuff. I think we'll be talking to Cory Hart for the 2nd consecutive night. What a night offensively for him. And as you guys mentioned, what a job the Brewers bullpen did as Manny Parr goes to